Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing day yesterday. Good morning, Peter, straight from the New York Stock Exchange. How are you? Or maybe a couple of thousand miles north, 1,500 or so. How are you, my friend?
Well, it's where I live now. I mean,
Yes.
This is my place. I just sleep over in the corner in a little cot and wake up in the morning, and here we are. So,
There you go, man. Awesome stuff.
I mean, I can live wherever you want. If you got a better place, where would you like me to be?
I go somewhere St. Martin, like somewhere beachy, warm, not freezing, cloudy.
You know what?
Let's get you there.
That actually sounds pretty good to me right now, because I looked out the window just a few minutes ago, and it's snowing here again. Like, what's
Yeah, we
with
got
that?
a couple of flakes here. Not snow, it's just frozen water overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why is it snowing? It's not supposed to snow. So, in any event,
Yeah.
I guess it's just in my head that I figure it's too late for that, but it's not. I mean, it's apparently this is the time of year when it still happens in my area of the world. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but you know, the funny thing is, this morning, Carlos, I got up super early. Well, because my wife goes to work really early. So I was up at like 5:30 this morning and got
Nice.
right to work. Right. And I'm like, you know what? Because I had lots of stuff to catch up on. I need to, get some work done. And before I know it, it's 8 o'clock. And I'm like, what? I thought I had lots of time. I'd be like Mr. Relaxation and everything would be good. No, like not enough time to get everything done, which is just crazy, I think. But anyways, here we are. We're ready to go for the pre-market.
Yeah.
Off to the races, right?
Absolutely, friends. Quick look at our gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. And as you would probably expect, things are in the red. So a lot of uncertainty. More continues. Actually, it's not slowing down. It seems like it's picking up some more. So we got a couple of headlines that were not fun to wake up to this morning if you're expecting things to go back long quickly here. SPY's down slightly, and all these tickers are reacting as well. Oil is up again. I don't know what it is right now, but I saw it as high as above 100, above 110 again. So things continue to just get worse as far as the oil prices and everything else. A couple of ones that made it to the green, go figure, stuff that's oil and probably EV related. Rivian, which again, the correlation of this so early on is like the gas prices here, Peter, in the US. Gas prices are up almost 75 cents from where they were before the conflict, and now it's like that price should not react so quickly to what's going on, and especially in the US. Like, we don't even get oil from over there, right? So it's just interesting how these companies are already raking it in. And I don't know about you, but my mom called me yesterday, Peter, and was saying, is everything okay? Do I need to start buying water? I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? Well, one of my friends called me. She's like, she's stacking up on water because things are going to get really bad. I'm like, stop. I told her this is the same thing happened with the toilet paper back in COVID. Let's not start this. Your friend, I'm sorry, she's probably a little bit cuckoo. But no, we don't need to go stacking on water. So we're good. We're fine. When we start hearing the sirens here, then we will get worried. But right now, we're okay. All right. There you go, Peter. That's a little better. A little nice there. That's exactly what I want. Beautiful.
I'm feeling warm and sunny already.
There it is. So yeah, friends, gappers list to the downside this morning. SPY up and down, not down by much though, but clearly on the uncertainty, stocks are reacting this morning. All right, Peter, let's take a quick look at our U.S. economic calendar and what we have scheduled for this morning.
Randomly, Carlos, you made me think of there's a great movie scene with Wanda Sykes plays a psychologist, and it's got why can't I remember her name? She's the voice of the Frozen girl, and she's married to Dax Shepard. Can't remember her name, anyways. Anyway,
I don't recall it here.
She goes and she says, "Why is my mom crazy?" And Wanda Sykes is a psychologist. You know why she's crazy? It's you. It's your fault. You made her that way. Anyways, it's a good sort of little thing, and because she goes through, she probably started out normal, and then you started doing things, and you were a kid. Kristen Bell, thank you. Yeah. Anyways, it's a good it's a good scene. Anyways, let's look at the calendar. Yeah, for this morning, we do have a number of things coming up. Starting at 8:30, as usual, when the data comes out, the jobless claims is always the biggest number. So that's what we're going to look at, both initial and continuing. Those are going to be the biggest two numbers. So we'll get those to you live when they happen in about 22 minutes here. So we'll get that going. Then later this morning, we do have home sales. And then what's so-called the U.S. leading index is just an index of growth. And then the Fed GDP now, which is probably not that interesting at this point, only because we had the big Fed rate announcement yesterday. So I guess being that we're talking economic calendar, we should talk about that. Yesterday we had, the last meeting, the outcome of the meeting of the Fed, and Powell took to the stage, as he does every time this happens, and gave us the not only the outcome but some color commentary, and the market reacted not that heavily, quite frankly. I mean, the market sort of, popped up a little bit and then dropped. I mean, more of a drop than a pop on this. Basically, the Fed announced that the rates were unchanged at what they call 3.5 to 3.75%. The reality is it's 3.75. It's 3.75% is the Fed rate. And that's what the market was anticipating. 99% basically anticipation that the rate was going to remain unchanged at that level. So no surprises, and the market can continue to trundle on its way, which means that the market can continue to be concerned about inflationary pressures without doing much about it. It can be concerned about oil prices with really only the oil stocks moving. Like, this market is just weird, right? Like, normally in this type of economic uncertainty and pressure, you would get a severely downtrending market. Now, it's not to say we're not going down, right? If you look at the overall trend, especially over the last week, we've been starting to move lower, and we're certainly lower than we were when we started this year. So, we're in a downtrend, but it's certainly not drastic at this point, right? It's only moderately concerning, mildly concerning. I don't know. What would you guys call it? I'd be interested for your comments on this. It's one of those where people start to say, I think the market is, not going to achieve all-time high tomorrow. But they haven't yet accepted the fact
Yeah.
that we're going down. People ask all the time, how do you know, right? How do you know when we're actually in, a trend reversal, or we know when the market's going down, or a recession or depression? Frankly, you only know after it's happened. That's
Yeah.
the reality. But
Or,
all
or,
we
when,
can
or
do
when
is,
something big breaks, right?
right,
Something big has to break.
right,
And we have not seen that in our economy, at least, right? Something's got to
right.
break, to create the crisis. And no, everybody's looking to see, okay, what's going to break? And nobody's finding anything yet.
Well, and everybody's afraid to call it, right? Nobody wants to call it too early. Nobody wants to say that we're in a downturn in case it doesn't, right? I mean, and a lot of that is because it's, the people on whom we traditionally rely for that information are media personalities, and they hate to be called out as wrong, so they'll always be cautious in their projections. So, but the reality is, I mean, look, the market is heading down slowly but surely, it seems at this point. But again, I just wait, because the biggest up days happen in downturns. So, this market has just been so resilient, and you only have to go back. Look at the chart that we've got here, right? Look what happened in late November. Look what happened in October. Every time we had these big down days, which brought us to low points, right? Within the next, few days, suddenly we're popping up again. So I understand the concern. However, this is a little bit more. This is not a single day, concern spike lower. This is about 2 weeks worth of, reduced height on the market. So it feels like we're definitely heading down. And that that's look, a receding economy and a stock market is not overall, it's not good, overall, but let's see if we can trade and take some opportunity. So that's where we're at. As I said, economic data a little bit more coming up today, and we'll see how the market reacts to it. We'll see where we go. I mean, I'm always ready on both sides of the trade, as you guys know, right? Long and short trades can happen on any given day. So,
Yep, absolutely. We also
this
have
was
yeah.
this is part of our discussion on. I wasn't sure if you had that I put up there. This is an interesting. It's such a pretty chart that the Fed put together that they put out. So this is their projection, and this is basically all of the Fed chairs, right, from the different voters within the Fed. As to where they sit on their belief of rates. And I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of caught under the watch list or at the bottom there. It's 2026 is on the far left, and then we have 27, 28, and then it just says long range or future or something like that. So as you can see, the consensus view right now is very clearly at the 3.75, which is where we're at. However, the view going forward here is that we are going to need to decrease rates. Because the inflationary pressures are increasing and inflation is not, going down as much as the Fed had hoped in response to them holding the rate steady. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I mean, this is the Fed's long-term projection, and as they themselves say, they reserve the right all the time to change their mind based on new information. That's basically what they say. They make it sound prettier, but they basically say we can change our mind at any point. So.
Yep,
But they
absolutely.
created these pretty dot graph, which I have never seen out of the Fed before. So it looks like a Rorschach test or something. What do you see in it? Anyways,
Spin top, like, and the
yeah,
last one looks like a fighter jet to me. So
yeah,
I don't know. They're predicting war here. What's going on? Longer war? Or what's happening? But yeah,
I don't know.
it's very
Not
very
sure. Yeah.
interesting on these dots. I'm sure they could chat GPT and find a better way to show us this. But hey, that's what they use. Um,
I
that's
and
what they
can I
use.
just
You
say,
know?
Bats Wayne, you commented on. Sorry, Bats Wayne, you commented on something I was noticing too. You're right. This new camera, I just installed it yesterday, but it does feel like I'm glowing. I seems like unnaturally bright. Look at me. Anyways. It is a little weird. Nothing's changed in the lighting in the room. It's definitely the camera, but
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
it's
It is rather bright, but hey, it looks much sharper though. Much
it
much
is
sharper. I
sharper.
like it. I
I
like
didn't
it.
I didn't believe this
Yeah.
camera was going to make much of a difference because it's not an expensive camera, but it's a
Yeah.
4K. So here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Look
High
look at me.
resolution is, I mean, because everything is YouTube and everything is going to downgrade the resolution anyway. But when you downgrade from a higher place, you end up at a better place. So that's good. All right,
Yeah.
let's
And I think I need to wear darker colored shirts. Apparently
yeah,
the
yeah. Well,
shirt is
your shirt is
making my
looks
head
like
glow.
looks like part of the sand at the moment. But no, it's
Yeah.
good. I think you look fine. I think it's
Okay.
good.
Anyways.
All right.
All right.
All right, friends. Let's get to it. Again, Paul, we were live yesterday for Paul's presentation or press conference, and man,
Yeah.
I love the way he answers questions. Here's one question that when they asked him when he was talking about the conflict or the war, whatever, however you want to reference. Man, he is so good at these things. Look how he went about this. I'll show you here.
Expectations have risen in recent weeks, likely reflecting the substantial rise in oil prices caused by the supply disruptions in the Middle East.
Love that. Supply disruption in the Middle East. I mean, he avoided any type of political comment. He did very good. He did very good. Like if you were left or right, he did not upset you yesterday. It was just perfect. So good job on him on keeping everything nice and clean with the white gloves there. All right, let's continue here, friends. Our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Leading the way this morning, got a couple of stuff in the green, EVs, and we also have, of course, oil-related tickers like BATL, BP. I'm not sure about these two. We'll check them in a second. But let's see what's happening there, and then we'll look at, of course, the massive list of red here, the humanity of everything that is red this morning. So looking forward to a great day as we get into this. So let's start here. Let's start with the first one, Rivian and BATL. Rivian this morning, we are high flying. We've seen this a couple of times. Every time oil prices seem to spike and the war seems to just pick up more steam, Rivian seems to push up here. But this one's happening right at 8 a.m., up 10% this morning, 2.6 million shares traded. Peter, any other news moving this one higher today?
Uber apparently is investing about $1.25 billion in Rivian as part of a robo-taxi deal. So we know that Uber and Tesla and others have been in this battle to figure out, and then we got Zoox out there, and we've got Waymo, and like there's all sorts of companies now that want to be on this autonomous taxi uh, new business, area, I guess. And looks like Rivian's going to be entering in a big way with Uber injecting them with over $1 billion worth of cash. So they've basically ordered over 10,000 autonomous SUVs. That's good news. Not only have they put in an order for it, but they've said that they're sort of investing as part of the company, which it makes sense from Uber's point of view, right? Uber's got the cash. And they might as well, sort of jump into bed with those whom they're going to be paying the cash for on the vehicle side. So, this is sort of merging the streams, if you will. I keep using that term. It's like the old Ghostbusters term, right? Don't cross the stream. Anyways,
Across the streams, yeah.
but merging the anyways, but because again, Tesla's coming from the other point of view, right? They had the production first, and then they're moving into the autonomous taxi, whereas a lot of other companies that are starting from neither, right? Like look at Zoox, which is I always forget, is that Google's or Amazon's platform? Whoever's it is. They don't have either, so they're building both from scratch. So Uber, who has the ride share platform, I mean, they're the de facto, they're the go-to. It's only them and Lyft that have global presence, but Uber is for sure the granddaddy of the space. They might as well get into auto manufacturing, and it looks like they're doing that with investment in a couple of different spaces. Remember, Uber also invested or committed with some of their air taxis. With some of my favorite drone, human carrying drone companies earlier. But so now they're getting into bed with Rivian. So it makes sense that Rivian's moving. Is it going to keep it going all day? That's a good question, right? That's probably our money-making question for the day. The volume looks good. I like the fact that they've got 2.7 million shares. I like the fact they're up 10%. That means there's more room to go. I think, Carlos, for sure, this is going on our list with that news, or at least my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. We traded these guys in the past before. They have traded very well, so I'm going to put them on the list, man. This looks good today. 2.7 up 10%. I love it. Pre-market looking great. And our challenge has been, we saw it yesterday on tons of tickers where the pre-market action was awesome and they left nothing for us at the market open, right? Luckily we found a couple of great tickers to trade, but pre-market on many of these tickers have been really, really nice. So if you're a pre-market trader, I'm not. If you are finding some awesome opportunities lately in the pre-market. Let's take a look at BAT-L. Normally not really tradable, hard to borrow, sitting on the American Stock Exchange. They keep moving, not directly with the price of oil. And to me, I think the fun is over. They had their big initial pop. There are a couple of good announcements, a couple of potential deals with some companies, not signed agreements, but what's the word? What's the terminology they use? It's the terminology, a potential agreement or written. It's weird. They use something that they might potentially do business together, but it's not final, right? They got a couple of those that popped them up pretty good here. And when the oil prices were shooting up, they were also popping up. Today, we're seeing a little bit of a gap up of 9.8. I think the fun is over. Don't get caught on this one. It is also a low flow sitting at 14 million. I want no parts of it. I think they're just trying to grab whatever they can before we plummet down to $4. So I want no parts of it, Peter.
Yeah, and they're making some moves. They're taking advantage of the recent stock price increase to acquire some assets. They've entered into what they call a PSA, a purchase and sale agreement, to basically buy some of the oil assets surrounding their existing properties. The company they're buying it from is it used to be called Sundown, which is now apparently they changed their names to Roadrunner Resource Holdings LLC. But it's interesting how they've just it's a share. They're using their shares to make it happen. They're giving them 485,000 shares for the lease rights for some properties adjacent to their existing oil activity, so oil drilling activity. So It allows them to expand. Like you said, the fund's sort of over. A number of these oil companies I notice are issuing secondaries. They're taking advantage of the recent increase in their price to try and raise some more cash. From a trading perspective, it's hard to know. They could move on any given day, but look at how the volumes diminished after the first few days, right? When it was spiking up. It's just the overall volume seems to be down. Yeah, that was the big volume. Now we got this lower volume. It doesn't feel like, they're just as active. That being said, there was some decent trades on a couple of oil offerings yesterday. I know in the chat room, a few of our members were watching it, and because Jared and others had called it out, so there was some opportunity there. But there's lots of opportunity in lots of places right now.
Yeah, they go find some better stuff to look at. This won't be it for sure. Especially we can't short it, right? And today could start out some potential short opportunities given the way the sentiment and the market feels at the moment. So we want to have options to go both ways if we need to here. VG is next. Venture Global. These guys are up 8%. 8.4, 2.5 million shares traded. Large flow of 477. Peter, and here they are rocking this morning, and their daily seems they've been moving a little bit more in the last couple of days, all of March really, with extra volume compared to what they did prior to that. So we've seen this one before many times. I personally don't like to trade it. I don't like the price action on it. I really think I'm going to find better stuff to look at.
Yeah, they just completed the financing of liquefied natural gas plant, I guess. So it's $8.6 billion. This is not a tradable ticker, unfortunately. It just doesn't move enough.
Yeah. Let's see what else. And then another one on here is going to be EQ, NR. EQNR. Let's see what we got here. So EQNR daily Equinor SAS. What is this company? It looks foreign because you can tell by it's oil and gas too. Again. Okay, yeah. But they've been rocking for some time here, so they've been doing pretty good even before the situation here. So that just has spiked it. You can see the price the volume increase over the last couple of days, so a little more action there. So again, more oil companies, which I thought I would have seen more on this list here, but not that many. USO not really moving a whole lot, just kind of right below the previous day close. So I'm not sure. What is the oil price right now, Peter? What do we have it as? Do we have a price on that? Question. Yeah, let's see what that is. Cause I thought I heard it popped up over like 114 or something, but I'm not sure what it is right now. Usually does that overnight, then it comes down by the pre-market and the market open. It's 96. Oh, so it dropped a lot.
I got it at 96.33 right now. Overnight, it looks like it did hit a high early this morning of 98, but I don't see it that as high as you just mentioned.
Okay. So it did drop a lot. All right, so there you have it. You have a couple on here. Again, you know what those favorite ones are. USO is one that you guys like to watch. There's some other ones too that you can take a look at. For me personally, I have not really traded any oil tickers yet, so I don't see the reason for it today either. I think some other stuff we trade a little bit better. BP, rocking guys here up 2.1, 5.5 million shares traded. So that's doing very well, Peter. Anything you like about all these oil companies and possible plays today?
There's a lot of oil. Oh, here I am.
Okay, good. I'm like he drowned.
I popped in.
Well, let's see. He's the beach.
Yeah, and boom. All right. Anyways, look, no, there's a lot of these oil and gas, like you said, that are going to be on and off the list, I think, over the next little while, because of the uncertainty of what's happening, right? I mean, we've got, what for most, like, we're in unprecedented times. Everybody knows that. President Trump has, no matter what you feel, he's rewritten the code of what it means to be president. And what is detrimental? I mean, normally it would have been a disastrous PR effort for any president prior to President Trump to have said the war is over and then have the war keep going for 3 weeks after having made that statement. He's claimed the U.S. doesn't need any help. They've got this, right? We've got this. The whole problem is solved. To suddenly calling on allies and having all the allies say, yeah, I don't think so. You're on your own, buddy. So, it's just but this is the type of stuff that frankly has not, does not affect Trump like it would have affected any other president in history. So it just means I don't know what's going to happen, and it means that the oil prices, while we know they're going up and we know supply is constricted, and there's definitely like a critical juncture coming at some point, right? When there will not be enough oil, and we'll actually get into need to eliminate or sorry release all of the reserves or start heavily importing other forms of oil. I mean, the U.S. is a net importer, like we did talk about yesterday. They are the largest oil producer in the world. The U.S. makes more oil or produces more than anybody else. However, they consume even more than they produce. So, there's all of that concern. So I think we're going to see oil companies continue to be on the list. Can we trade them? I don't know. Like battalion. I still struggle with that one. Is the foremost, for whatever reason, it's been the poster child. So I think we've got to, if you're going to keep an eye on any one of them, keep an eye on that one. As you said, we can't short it, which is a little unfortunate. We also, there's all the other ones out there, right? All the big companies which we can't ignore that we haven't talked about, like BP and Exxon and even Occidental Petroleum, right? Which was sort of the poster child last time, as I keep saying. So, keep an eye on whichever ones you want. I just don't like trading the sector for the most part. So, Carlos,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going to be actively watching them. I think there's a lot more interesting stocks that we can take a look at, right? That are more likely to be in play for us and give us the type of stock momentum that we need during the trading day.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. All right, friends. In chat room, we see Jared kicking things off here for engineering the markets. He starts at 8:30 every day for our community members, and man, he goes
Yep.
in. His knowledge is awesome. So if you're part of the community, you get to
Goes
see a
in
little
depth.
more in depth. I mean, the guy knows his stuff, right? The guy knows his stuff. So definitely, if you're part of the community, check him out. If you want to join, Peter's going to show you how to do that by heading over to bevertrace.com a little bit later here. All right, let's wrap up the gap up. I think we're good here. I don't see anything else I'm going to add. I'm going to add Rivian. I haven't done it yet. I'll do it in a second. Oh, I did already. It's right down there, the banner. So Rivian is all good and set to go. And I don't really see anything else gapping up that I will like on my list this morning. We'll start looking at some of the gap down. But before I do that, Peter, do you have any stuff that's gapping up that you want to go over before we head to the gap down?
Well, no, because everything I've got is on the gap down list. And let's jump over to the economic calendar because the data just came out. And frankly, there's not much there. So I don't think the market's going to move. I've got it on a shared screen, Carlos, if you want the live data.
Yep.
Jobless claims is the big one we were looking at, both initial and continuing. And they went in different directions, which is interesting. The initial jobless claims slightly lower than expected, which is a good number. 205,000 versus 215 forecast, and the continuing slightly higher than forecast. But we're talking, look, it's 1,857,000 versus 1,801. Oh my God, I can't speak. 1,850. So the difference is nominal. Basically, we're right on target in both cases. So nothing to see here. The Philly Fed, this is the interesting one to me, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which came out at 18.1 versus an 8.3 forecast. This is a relative scale, but it just shows how the business conditions, and this is like much more positive than anticipated, and it's sort of the high end of what we've seen over the last. Let's scroll down here over the last couple of years. So that's quite a bullish number out of the Philly Fed number. So, anyways, interesting there. Well, I don't think the market is generally going to do much of that because, as much as it may say it's positive, the market's still a little skeptical, I think. And we can see right now, market hasn't really done much. So, but there's your numbers. Remember, homing sale. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? I can't talk.
You got it, Peter. Let it out. Let it out.
Oh my God. Housing sales going up at 10. That's the next number we're looking for. And then, like I said, the Atlanta Fed this afternoon. That's about it, right? So that's what we're looking at.
All right, here we go, friends. Yes, for those wondering what's going on, we do start a little bit early in case you took the week off and we're not around. We're starting now at 8 a.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. Jared starts at 8:30 with our in our chat room and for our members, as we just explained. He's over there looking at more in-depth stuff. Definitely check him out. But yeah, we started at 8 a.m. now. Just kind of get more time to go through a lot more news. There's a lot more stuff happening. And notice now that we're bringing you guys a lot more slides. It's a little bit cleaner, right? Peter is waking up at 4:30 in the morning to get these slides all ready for you guys. I mean, the guys are putting in the work, man. But yeah, it's a good change. I know people don't like the change because they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have the have cake. They want to be with Jack. They want to be with us. You can't have everything, but you got options, which is nice, right? Some people don't have options, and man, humans love options. I'll tell you that much, right? So I think it's a good change. All right, let's continue here. Gap down this morning. And look at this list, the humanity and gold. Gold continues to take it on the chin here. So we'll see what's happening there. But it's massive, Peter. It's massive. So let's do this. Before we start trying to dissect this entire list, how about we start with some of our earnings? I know we got a big one on there we could talk about. And then we'll go by sectors. We'll go by gold. We'll go by we'll start with NVIDIA and the semis and all that. Let's do that first. I think that will give us a better list because the list is massive today, as you can see. One of the ones we're going to start with is our good buddy MU with earnings. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, why don't we start with the earnings calendar because so you can see what we're looking at because there are a few things. Last night was the big one. Micron was the big earnings, and highlighted in green here are the few that I was going to focus on. That was really the big one from last night. Not much else. Red Cat maybe just because they're in an interesting sector right now. But then this morning we had Alibaba, Accenture, and one of my favorites. Just because they're fun. Intuitive Machines, which is the ticker Lunar, right? They're lunar landing modules. Anyways, we'll talk about them briefly. But yeah, Micron, Carlos, I assume is what you're going to. That's the big one.
Yes, let's go to that one. Yep,
that's the big one. And look, last night was their earnings. And I mean, they just blew the doors off of it, right? The expected number was that they were going to be delivering something like just under $20 billion worth of revenue in the quarter. They came out at 23.8, like massive, right? Expected $9 per share earnings. They did $12.20. So not only did they make a ton more revenue, but on that growth, they actually managed to make a lot more profit overall, which is usually you got to invest to make it happen. But it shows that they are firing on all cylinders, and they've had some deals. We've talked about this, some big deals coming up. The sector is hot. Their guidance even came in for the next quarter, right? So they're on a different cycle than a lot of companies. Their next is the Q3. They came in at 33.5 billion, which is like 142% growth. I mean, when you're a company that size and you're putting that much growth, those big growth numbers, normally you'd be rewarded with a huge pop in your stock. Micron, not so much. And we talked about this yesterday. Remember how I said, and this is where I get to pat myself on the back, yay me. But I said, my concern was that I think they were priced to perfection. And even if they beat their numbers, what could they possibly do that would be good enough to go from all-time highs to even a greater all-time high? We were thinking that there's a possibility the sort of the move that we were talking about could have brought them to 500. The expected move was I think $35, which could have put them over $500, but they just didn't get there. I actually traded Micron, and I traded it to the long side at earnings right after the close. I got a quick trade on that, but thank goodness I got out quickly because obviously they started to drop and dropped pretty heavy. Where now they're down 5%, which is about $23. But at the low, they were down another $10 past this point. So, it's so that was another 2.5%. So I think it's in play today. I don't normally advocate for Micron, but after this move yesterday, I think if you just look at the chart, it feels like it's in play. We've lost all the gains we made earlier this week. We're in the gap zone, right? Where it gapped up on the overnight on Friday or this past weekend. So, this is a good space where we could easily move lower, but, it could also feel the big money could feel that it was overdone after earnings and want to bring them back to the highs because that money brought them there in the first place. So I don't know which way Micron's going to move, but I'm ready. I'm going to be ready. I want to be watching this because I think it's obviously the most in play of the semiconductor stocks this morning. Now, we can't ignore NVIDIA. It's always there, but like this entire sector, I think the result on Micron's earnings is acting as a dampener for the entire market and for, of course, the semis. I'm watching AMD, I'm watching NVIDIA. They're all down about 1%, so nowhere near as much as Micron, but they're certainly being hit as well. So yeah, today it's Micron that's leading the pack. We'll see what happens when the opening bell rings.
And I'm not sure if you saw the headline of the CapEx, how much they're spending. I think it's like for this year they're planning 25 billion on AI. I mean, it is. Where's all this money going? Like who's making this money? Nvidia? I mean, like, my goodness, it's just crazy how much they're spending on this thing. It's just wild, man. It baffles me when I hear these numbers. Who do we have to ban? We'll ban somebody quickly if they're not in line. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's like 25 billion for this entire year. So I'm telling you, this is wild. Is it a bubble? That is the question.
In a lot of cases, it's companies, they're all spending in this big circular chain. So it's a self-licking ice cream cone, to use that old expression. But I do think in Micron's case, when you talk about AI spend in the case of the semiconductor companies, for the most part, they're spending in R&D. They're spending on the developing new chipsets, because that's really how they're going to get back their investment. They're not building AI engines generally. Generally, they're investing in. Now, that being said, sometimes that spend is in just investment in other companies. So they won't directly be building AI, but you might as well, right? Like if you got a big customer that's going to be buying a lot of your stuff, you might as well invest in the company and encourage them to buy your stuff over your competitors, which we've seen, right? NVIDIA's been very good at that. They've been investing in a bunch of companies, which in turn, requires those companies to buy their stuff. And, and again, OpenAI is a good example of, they're not even publicly traded, how they've managed to, corral that ecosystem. That being said, I'm hugely skeptical of OpenAI. I just, the head of the company and the person leading this does not have a good track record. He's had a lot of companies that have been basically bait and switch type situations. I don't know. So this whole AI thing it does feel like a massive house of cards that I don't know. There's going to be winners. There's going to be losers. I just, the risk is don't end up on the wrong side of it. But I think, the right side is definitely going to be some of the semiconductors that have staying power, because they're behind all of the companies, right? Like in NVIDIA, yes, there's going to be big losers underneath them, right? There's going to be AI companies that are going to fail. And some for the right reasons, some for the wrong reasons. But yeah, NVIDIA is going to survive. They may get some, shots. they may
they may drop from
altitude.
the throne a little bit. Yeah, of course.
But anyways, Carlos, it's going to be fascinating to watch and to trade through this. We'll just have to see what happens. It's tough to make big bets, in my opinion, because I just don't know where this is going to go, especially if you get an economic downturn, right? Like, what happens, big economic downturns, everybody hates the R word, but let's talk recession for a second. If we actually were to hit a recession, and the recessionary pressures, which we have not seen in quite a while, really, are massive. Usually what do they call it? Non-essential spending, anyways, gets cut. So where does AI fall? Is that considered essential spending? Would you protect that over, employees' jobs? Would you protect it over maintaining some business? I don't know. Like, it feels like AI, for the most part, is probably not an essential spend at this point if you really got into heavy recessionary pressures. And that would mean that they're going to curtail spending, which of course will have a big cascading effect all throughout the marketplace. So I don't know. We'll find out together where that gets categorized, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nevertheless, creating a lot of opportunities for us to day trade it. But if you're investing swing trading, it could be a little difficult to just focus on that one sector. But we'll see. MU and NVIDIA getting on the list. Of course, it is the MU's day today, obviously. And I see NVIDIA. I see some other ones like maybe AMD also playing nice this morning. But I'm going to go with the top two here, MU and NVIDIA for sure. heading over to our gappers list, see what else we have on here. So the next sector I have, let's go with the top three, and then we'll jump around to see some of the other sectors I'm seeing here. This all looks like mining to me. SBSW, AU, this is gold, right? Silver. Wow, they're all
Yeah,
taking a hit.
a lot of mining.
So saw a lot of mining on here. All right, so let's look at this first one and second one, and then we'll look at mining and see if there's anything that's available that we can actually watch and trade. But looks like today they're heavily in play, so that PSLV might be on my list here. Canadian Solar, Peter, what's going on? You haven't put the panels over your household? You're not getting energy from the sun? But the panels could be heated. They could melt the snow off the thing, and you still get a couple of rays in there, maybe enough to power a toaster,
Well,
bread toaster.
that's sort of the problem. If you use all the energy from the solar panels to heat the solar panels to get more solar energy, you're not doing anything other than, right? It's
Cleaning your roof. That's an expensive way to clean your roof.
That's about all that happens. That's no good. Especially if it snows overnight, then you got to use stored heat. Anyways, never mind. Canadian Solar, yeah, they had earnings. This is why it's here today. They basically missed their numbers, top and bottom line, both on revenue and on bottom line earnings per share. So that's why they are dropping here. Their guidance was about on par with expectations, but having missed their numbers, they're gapping down. I can't see this getting enough volume for us to want to trade it. I mean, look at the average daily volume, Carlos. We're pretty anemic.
Yeah, it's
on this
peanuts. Peanuts on this one. So I like the gap down for 21%. I love the move here in pre-market, but again, the volume might not just be there for us to trade it. And again, if this is all we had, I'll have this on the list, but I just feel there's so many better things on the horizon here that we're going to be looking at that we don't have the capacity to look at that one today. ALM is next on here, also down pretty big, 14%, 1.1 million shares traded. Another one that the volume is not so great. This is Almonte Industry. Oh, we spoke about this company recently, Peter. I remember the name. I don't remember how long ago, but they're here today. What's your thoughts?
I think we talked about a different company that mined alimony. Alimony? I think that's what you pay when you get divorced.
Yeah, it's different. Different type of payment. Different type of company. A very lucrative one, I gotta say. Yeah.
What's the name of the precious metal that sounds like that? Antimony. Thank you. I was so close. Oddly, the company Almonte does not mine antimony. Anyways, Jesus, I really am struggling with my face and talking parts here today. But they mine tungsten. So tungsten is what they're mining. But you're right. All of these companies seem to be on the list. They did have their earnings report. Interestingly, they missed their numbers. I guess tungsten is not one of those metals that's been doing hugely well. Haven't followed tungsten prices. But their revenue was up, but not as much as anticipated. But their net losses were up as well, and so they lost more money than anticipated. So bottom line is that they missed their numbers, and the market doesn't like that.
Yeah. Again, just think there's going to be better stuff to look at today, guys. So I'm going to keep this off. Now, if you look at, speaking about mining, AU, silver, everything here is down pretty nasty today. Look at AU, look at gold, down 13%, 1.1 million shares traded. Is the fun over? You would think with the market going, and this is why you got to be careful, right? Because people talk about, the market goes down, this goes up, dollar goes up, this goes up. But this has been doing something completely different off the normal, right? Silver and gold than they're used to doing in the past, right? And that's been going on for quite some time now. If you zoom back, all of last year, these stocks have just been rocking, right? Right now, taking a bit of a hit here. You can see 13% down, 1.1 million shares traded in a lot of these. Silver as well, PSLV. They're all taking over the gappers list this morning. I mean, almost everything on here seems to be related. HL, I know it's another one. There's just tons, Peter. So clearly, these tickers taking a hit. Are they tradable? Do you have a favorite one here that you might possibly watch given the action today?
I mean, I usually watch the ETF GLD or SLV for gold and silver. Those are the two that I like to watch. They just tend to move with good volume. There's others out there that you can watch. But those are my go-to. What I find fascinating is that all the headlines this morning, they're all like gold and silver are, continue their extended slide after the Federal Reserve held rates steady. So we already talked about that, how the Fed did not change rates. They left them at 3.75%. I can't help. This is Grumpy Peter talking now. Well, I guess I'm always talking, but anyways, I'm like, now you care about the fundamentals? Like, remember like 2-3 months ago when it was all like, who cares? Silver
Who
and gold to
cares?
the moon. And they were
Up,
going
up,
up like
up.
crazy.
Yeah.
The rate was the same. The rate was unchanged. That's the whole point. But suddenly now that there's basically no more room higher for gold and silver to go up, and those of us that were the naysayers on the sideline, I put myself in that group, were saying, look, man, this is not sustainable. You can't have gold and silver prices up here forever. Now they're like, oh, well, because the Fed didn't change the rate, that's why it's dropping. I'm like, it didn't change. That's the whole point. So you're reacting to nothing is what you're saying? That's basically what they're saying. Anyways, so yeah, the gold and silver prices basically they got overheated and they just couldn't sustain that price, and now they're dropping. And of course, the world focus has changed, right? Like when gold and silver prices were skyrocketing, we weren't worried about oil prices at that time. So
Yeah.
the world has a slightly different focus now, and this is what happens. It's again, this is part of a very typical pattern where things come back to earth once attention moves on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Jobless numbers are out. Yeah, we spoke about that a little bit earlier. Peter actually had that slide up. He still has it up and bring it to you here.
Yep.
In case you missed it, here's the numbers, Peter.
Yep. Basically, they came out at target. Again, the initial jobless claims slightly lower, continuing jobless claims slightly higher, but well within like a margin of error. So yeah, pretty much right on target. As I said, the thing I was highlighting was this Philadelphia Fed number. Look how different that is from the forecast. It's a pretty high number. So, but again, the market didn't seem to worry about that one too much. So I think we're on our own. The market's going to continue on its merry way, which unfortunately today seems to be a trip down into the valley. It's
Yeah.
heading downhill.
So as far as these tickers, I mean, probably the best one is SLV. I think it's one that I have watched a couple of times in the past. Moves very well, gets a lot of volume. Look at that, 12 million shares traded, down 11.2 here. And then PSLV is another one that you can also trade. That one is also down, lower price, less volume. But the price tag is a little bit lower on this one, $40 lower. So if you like, a lower price tag, there it is. Both moving the same. I'm going to go with SLV. Looks a lot more active and fun, really. So I'm going to put this one on the list because they are in play today. So SLV, pick your favorites. And as you saw on the gappers list, we're not going to go through all of them. There's just there's tons, right? Pick your favorite. They're all on here. AG, there's a couple of ones that trade better than others, but they're all on here. We spoke about semis already, so we got a few of those. We got MU, we got NVIDIA, and some other ones. You could look at AMD and some more there. I see Quantum is on here as well, making an appearance. Rigetti, QBTS, a bunch of them on here. They have not really traded well, Peter, so I'm not inclined to put them on the list. Let's take a look, though. Let's take a look at what Rigetti's doing, right? And you can see on the daily, this is partly the reason why they're just not moving a whole lot. We are testing now some areas at the bottom here. You can see here 15.15. That is where we found support many, many times. But for the most part, it's just been stuck. We're not getting, as you guys know, we mentioned this in the past, we're not getting this. This was beautiful. We had Rigetti, QUBT, QBTS on the list 24/7, right? I mean, it was just that good. But then since that has really come down, the volume is probably it looks like almost less than a quarter of what it was during this time. So it has not been heavily in play. I think there's better things to look at. But if you do like these, you can put them on deck. I don't see the action on it, Peter, for us to add it to our list today.
I agree. They haven't been really in play for a while, and that is unfortunate, but sort of a reality. So.
Yeah. Before we go to Peter and what he likes this morning, we'll continue to dissect this gap down list. Question in chat. I'm new. I'm starting to learn. Is it a great time to start trading? I think it's a great time to start learning. And as I mentioned before, I kind of gave you that quote there. ComC's never made a skilled sailor, in somewhat of an idea that, if you start in a market where everything is bull and everything turns green, it can create the false perception that you figured it out. And a lot of us have started like that. We started like, if you started like after COVID, anything you touched went green. Like you could have made so many mistakes. You could have held overnight and like, yeah, I'm not gonna stick to my stop. And next day you're up $2,000 just because you held overnight and broke 10 rules, right? That's not gonna happen in this market. It's gonna blow you out the water. So it's nice to learning different market conditions, but when the market is tough, it's even better because you know what to expect when things could be at their not their worst. There's still opportunities, but when there's lack of opportunities and the market is not as easy to trade as it would be when it's a completely bullish market or bearish market, right? I think people do better on the bullish market because it's nice to hold overnight and get paid the next day. So I think people do much better in bullish markets. They're willing to hold, expecting it to go up. So you can learn now, and doesn't mean you have to jump in right away, right? There's plenty of things. You got the simulator, you got the funded account, you got trading term, you got so many steps to get to before you start risking real money. That I think that it's worth following through before just thinking, hey, I'm going to jump in and let's see what happens, right? Don't do that. All right, with that, Peter, let's go to you. I mean, it's a lot on this list. What do you like or what you want to cover that we haven't talked about yet? And then we'll go to you guys to get your tickets ready. We'll go to X and YouTube and see what you guys like on your end.
Yeah, I've got a few things that I think
freezing, man. How we go from the Caribbean to somewhere up in Canada, like not Canada. This is beyond Canada. This is like non-living territory Canada.
This is the North Pole. Well, I thought it reflected more accurately where I actually am. It looks more like
it is cold today. It is cold today. I agree.
Oh, yeah. I also wanted to try a white background and see what happened. But anyways.
You're trying to just have a floating head? You're trying to disappear your head? Put on a green shirt.
Yeah, that is closer to what my backyard looks like. Anyways, a couple things. We had a couple of earnings that are worth mentioning. Baba had earnings. BA. They had earnings this morning, and it wasn't great. They missed on revenue and missed on bottom line earnings. The bottom line pretty drastic. $1.90 was the expected. They only delivered at $1.03, 1.03 cents. So that's much lower than anticipated. Baba is dropping here this morning. I keep hoping it's going to be a better trader than it is. I mean, it was slow and steady yesterday. It really had a sort of a slow and steady downturn. So maybe if it continues something like that, you can get a trade in it. But it wasn't all that all that exciting. So, but anyways, it had earnings. Accenture was another one. Interestingly, they beat their numbers.
What's that
but
ticker?
I see this ACN for Accenture. They seem to like every quarter they go and beat their numbers. This is a consulting firm.
I missed it. ACM?
ACN. Yeah.
Oh, ACN. Okay, got it.
As in Nancy. Yeah. But they beat their numbers and still the stock drops. It seems to happen almost every quarter. So it's happening again this quarter. So again, not a great tradable stock, but it was one of the bigger ones that, tickers that I recognize. The other one was Lunar, Intuitive Machines, LUNR, which, look, they're much lower revenue, right? We're talking about a company that's 200 million in sales compared to the billions we're expecting with a lot of the other ones. Their earnings weren't bad. They were okay. I think just they're getting dragged down with the market because they're down about 5%. When their earnings were announced, they had popped higher, but then moved down fairly quickly here. So I think it's just they're just going with the market, so not much. What is more interesting, Carlos, we haven't talked about directly, but indirectly, we've been looking at a number of stocks related to, of course, unfortunately, the war, and war stocks are something that are active. And one of the best IPOs in a long while was for a company called Swarmer. And we got some information for you because it's sort of interesting. We haven't talked a lot about this, but SWMR is the ticker. You guys probably haven't traded it unless you looked at the IPOs, and we're following them over the last couple of days. But if you go one slide higher, we can just talk about Swarmer there. But because Swarmer is like they're basically a new IPO, but they're a company. They've got over 100,000 flown missions with their drones and basically their AI enabled drone technology. Oh, maybe you didn't get the other slide, but anyways, but
I don't know.
it's a good we can use this one, I guess. It's a good backdrop into what's changing in global warfare because on the right-hand side, we've got sort of the U.S. approach, and on the left-hand side, we got the U.S. approach. On the right-hand side, we've got the Iranian approach. And what you can see is where the U.S. on the left is, they have Reapers, which are, very successful. They've been very successful for a long time. But these are devices, if you will, that cost anywhere between 14 and about $30 million each. And that's the sort of the general drone technology we think of, especially related to the U.S. And then the U.S., when they send intercept missiles to shoot things down, they tend to use a couple of different technologies. The cheapest of which is still cost about $1 million to $2 million per missile. The problem that they're facing is that you've got Iran, which is using drones that come out of China and Russia. These Lucas drones, which literally stands for low cost, uncrewed combat attack systems. And these are one-way drones, right? They're purposely designed where they never come home. They're sent out to basically, die. And then they also have a secondary technology that has a greater payload that can go out there. Those are the Sahed ones, which have about twice the payload. But the thing is, these ones cost anywhere between about $20,000 and $50,000. So as they were saying, right, the difference is, you've got the U.S. Sending out super high-end Maybachs, and Iran is deploying Hyundais. So, and they can of course produce them. The estimate is that they can produce up to about 10 to 20,000 of these a month on Iran's side. So they could just start producing these from their factories, and I mean they're using Mr. Tainment, good name. Anyways, they have their own factories. They're using some of the original technology from China and Russia, and then of course improved upon it or made it some of their own. So anyways, it shows why we're seeing an imbalance in the way this war is being fought. And from a trading perspective, it explains why Swarmer, as a ticker, SWMR, again, is that ticker, sort of took off. I mean, it IPO'd only 2 days ago at something like $12, and yesterday it hit a high of about $65. So, huge increase in the stock price. It's really sort of moved up over the last couple of days and on decent volume. I mean, the volume over the first couple of days of trading has been around 20 million shares. In fact, it increased yesterday to about 22 million shares, whereas on its IPO day, it only had about 12 million. So I think this might be one worth watching. Could be in play just because the timing is good for this IPO, whether you like their business or not. This is where they're at, and it's worth keeping an eye on them. So I'm gonna put them on my secondary list just to see what they do. If the volume continues, who knows where this one could go, right? They could be set for a drop. Oddly, only 2 days after the IPO, it's also shortable. Normally, it's not shortable for a good week, but you can trade this both long and short. So
that makes it very interesting. You could short it right away here. I am going to add it here on my popcorn ticker. You just got to be careful. This is a new IPO, but again, the timing is perfect for these guys to come out with this now. You can see here they're being rewarded. Usually IPOs go up and come back down unless they're going to go do some craziness. But here they're holding on their gains from their IPO price. So good stuff there. All right, Peter, as far as what you like this morning, anything else that we haven't covered?
Let's see. No, those are the earnings that I wanted to cover and the sectors. I think we really hit it. Like, I think what's going to be in play, semiconductors because of Micron. I think, sort of the drone or war-based technologies, of course, because of that focus in the IPO. And then the oil, if you want to watch, again, I don't have a lot of faith in there because it's harder to trade, but Battalion is probably, the best focus. And then Carlos, we talked about precious metals, which seem to be back in play with gold and silver prices dropping. So those are the big sectors. And then you got the usuals that are always out there, the Magnificent Seven and those types of stocks. But, they're just in play because they're always in play. So that's what's moving and grooving today.
Yeah, I saw the comment about the Mag 7 lawsuit earlier with Microsoft and something else. So we'll take a look at it. But it's a class it's a class lawsuit. What is it? I mean, we see these all the time, and it takes forever.
On who?
On the Mag 7, there's a lawsuit on the Mag 7 tickers.
Really?
So I haven't read on it yet. Yeah, I have
He's
not
trying to
read
take them
on
all
it.
up?
Yes, which is crazy. Good luck.
Didn't see that.
Good luck with all the lawyers and all the money they're gonna throw at you to make you go bye bye. Well, at least they're not going after Boeing. They understand that they don't go after Boeing. But yeah, I don't see it yet. I haven't read it, so I gotta see what's going on there.
One that doesn't get a lot of volume pre-market, but you might want to watch. We want to watch shipping companies. Amazon did have some news this morning. I forgot to mention this one where they're apparently their contract is up with USPS, the U.S. Postal Service, and they said they're going to cut volume by at least 2/3 in advance of that contract expiry as they start to move the volumes off to their other partners. Obviously, Amazon does a heck of a lot of delivery themselves, but they also leverage a lot of partners, and which means that there's likely to be more auctions out there for shipping, and as people try and bid on Amazon's business. It's a tough industry, right? Super high volume, very low margins, right? It's the Walmart model of shipping, and as we know, Amazon is they're what should I say? They're a low payer. So, you win the contract, it's almost at your peril. You get tons of volume, but the margins are really, really thin. So,
yeah.
So I think that you just I'm a little tentative because it's that's sort of you're waiting for the next news. There's no guarantees on any side, but we've got some of the shipping companies like UPS that we could watch, and some of the others out there that may move on this news. We'll see. But I'm interested in this class action lawsuit you're talking about, Carlos. I don't see. Well, I'm not sure what the big news is, but
Yeah, agree.
let me know if you find it again. We can figure out.
I'll have to look at it. I don't see anything. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. There's so much crap that's coming up on it. So I gotta log into Bloomberg and see if Bloomberg has anything on it. I'm sure I would have gotten an alert. Like if this would have come up, I would have an alert from Bloomberg. They're pretty good at letting us know major things, but I don't see it yet. Maybe it's just starting to hit the stuff here. All right, excellent.
Some random news I just ran across on Meta, Carlos, because it's in your backyard. Do you know that Meta had a pop-up store in Manhattan that they were intending to be short-term, but apparently it was going so well that they've just signed a 10-year lease for a 5-level, 15,000 square foot store, or I guess location, that they're going to be focused on selling artificial intelligence powered glasses and virtual and augmented reality hardware. So
this is Meta?
Apparently they're I didn't know Meta wanted or had any physical locations, but apparently they did this one as a pop-up. It worked so well that they signed a 10-year lease. Oddly, they're saying it's in a townhouse at 697 Fifth Avenue, adjacent to the St. Regis Hotel. Sounds odd, townhouse, but I guess you could convert it into a storefront if you're right by the St. Regis in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? All right, friends, let's go to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. See what's on deck on both chats, X and also on YouTube. See what we got going on here. SOV is on deck already, man. We have this one. This is in play today, heavily in play. I mean, just look at the action SOV. And if you look at our gappers list, it's made up of all type of mining, gold, silver companies. They're all here today, right? So you got AU, you have AG, pick your favorites out on PSLV. It's another one too. So pick your favorites. They're all here today. Again, today they're just not feeling the love as you're seeing here on the daily, right? So pretty massive drop today. So in play, I'm looking at SLV. You pick your favorites out of all of those. As far as Meta, Meta wants all your data. Meta already has all our data. You know, Meta, Apple, and these guys, they got it. This is why, like, when when you sign up to these things where, for example, you can manage your money with certain applications, whatever, or even transfer money, even like with PayPal. Oh, if you sign up with this, we need access to your bank account, blah blah. And some people get worried about that, like, oh my God, I want to see what I'm transacting. Really? What are they gonna do? They know what you're buying. So what? What's the big deal? It's not. They have it already. Probably Apple already has it. You know, Visa already has it. Like, what do you think they're possibly going to do by knowing that I went to, I don't know, Quick Check and got a turkey cheese sandwich? What are you going to do with that? I don't understand. I don't understand. So it is what it is. Yes, I know they can target better your ads. You know what? Give me better ads than the one with the Let me. I'd be careful here.
Turkey cheese sandwiches.
Give me the ad that's actually going to promote something, but don't give me the ad of the foreign lady, right? That's like 26 that wants to hang out. That's not going to happen.
Well,
So
you know what? I think the influences are more subtle than that. That's the direct impact. The last one, the less direct one is where they start feeding you information, right, on topics that they think you're interested in. Makes you think that that's the big news or the only perspective on the news, and they start driving opinions in a direction. Or there's all sorts of things that they can do. So
yeah, I guess if you are not aware, like I'm aware that everything's an ad. Nothing is free. Everything is an ad. I step out the door, everything I see is an ad. I know it's being targeted. So I got the mentality that this is an ad, and I don't buy anything that gets promoted to me. I buy what I want. Not just, you could put 20 signs of cigarettes down the road if you want. I'm not gonna go smoke, but people are different, I guess. I don't know. Everybody's different, to each his own. But Peter, I
look at this.
Your
Carlos
background.
thinks he's immune to ads. That means you're
I
a
am.
patsy.
I'm not immune to them because
you're
no, you are affected, but I guess I only still buy the stuff I want. Or a Snickers when I'm hungry, So that's it.
Right. What? Why do you buy a Snickers? Because you saw the
because
ads.
the slogan.
You
Yeah.
said you're perfect.
There you go.
You think,
that's exactly what I use that one.
And yet your decisions are being subtly modified and adjusted based on the ads.
That's what I said that on purpose. They're like, I'll buy Snickers when I'm hungry, right? Because that's what they promote. Listen, the ads work. The ads work. But I just don't feel like by you knowing what Carlos buys, I don't think you're gonna have an impact. I don't see it. But hey, data costs money. But there you go. So speaking of Meta, guys, it is in play today. It is dropping. Do I have the space to watch it? Maybe on a secondary, right? So let's do that here. I'll buy a secondary here on Meta. Secondary play today because I do like my main list a lot better. But yeah, I do have Meta on the secondary. I know in Europe they have like restrictions on ads, like how many ads you can actually promote. There's some places, I think it's Europe. But one, you can target kids, which I think is great because their minds is not developed yet. It's just whatever they see they want to get. And there's a certain amount of ads that you can see. Here, on the other hand, New York City, you step out. If you walk into the city, you're probably gonna see 3,000 ads by the time you get back. If you walk for the whole day, 3,000 ads minimum. Like everywhere you look, there's an ad. And again, I saw plenty of Coach bags and wallets, and I'm not buying one. It's not my thing. Or the big wallet with the cowboy. Hey, that looks great. I'm not buying it. So I don't know. It's just different. Different. I think
eventually you're gonna think maybe my wife would like a Coach bag, and then
no. Or Peter yesterday promoting his Porsche. I'm not gonna go buy a Porsche. Peter was promoting the Porsche left and right yesterday, advertising it. I don't think it's working though.
That's what you think now. That's what you think
10
now,
years.
And then you're gonna be like, I want something flashy, and what should I get?
Oh man, love it. All right, friends, let's we digress. I digress. Let's see what's going on here. Meta, we looked at. What else you guys like this morning? Let's take a look. Let's see. What do we think about Ford For the ticker or for the car? Oh, don't get Peter started with the car thing. He has a thing for every car. But
we talked enough about cars yesterday. Yeah,
yeah. Ford, on the other hand, man, they have millions and millions of recalls under Ford Explorer, and I know that because I have one, and Peter's using it, one right there in the back. Millions of recalls.
You like mine?
I do
Mine
like
right here?
yours. I like that. I like that. Look at all
You
this
like it
snow.
so much you'd even buy one?
Yeah, I have one. It's down right there.
That's your car, Carlos.
I know. I recognize the snow on top of it.
I'm just putting the subtle. But for reference,
Yeah.
guys, when it snowed really heavy down there in Jersey, Carlos had posted this picture because you can imagine I rant all the time. You guys have heard me about people not brushing off his car. So Carlos said he was going to get in and drive away with the car covered in snow like this. So he posted the picture. I thought I would put some subtle psychology behind there. So there you go.
Yeah.
Since we're talking.
There it is. So Ford has owned tons of recalls on their wipers, and again, it's just not been doing well. But they're not tradable. They're not getting no volume. I don't see anything that we can trade on this one this morning. What else, friends? Let's take a look here. So we have, I think, MSTR. Let's check that one. I'm also looking at X, but nothing on X yet. Rivian I do have on the list. MSTR here, guys. Oh yeah, MSTR does look good. Pre-market action looks nice. Let's take a look at Hood. Oops, excuse me. Double click the wrong spot. Hood. What do we have here? Yeah, so they're both sliding down. MSTR looks the best, actually. Coin looks interesting as well. You know what? I'll watch Coin. I'll watch Coin and MSTR. I'll put them on here because I think they can trade well today. We'll see what we can get when we get closer to the market open. NVDA I do have on deck already, so that's there. We have NVIDIA, and we also have MU, as Peter mentioned, earnings last night. If you missed it, here are some of the numbers, Peter. For those who are joining a little bit later, I mean, they just didn't. Everything looked good. They just, their reaction is negative.
Again,
so
they did fantastic, but the market just didn't reward them. I think they were already, again, priced to perfection. Having hit all-time high in the previous 2 days, they just couldn't sustain it and have dropped. So I think that definitely top of my watch list. We'll talk trading strategy on a couple of stocks in a few minutes here. Well, actually, we better get going because we're getting close to the open here. We're only about 16 minutes now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, we are all set. If you haven't done so already, here's an ad for you. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube, and let's prove Peter's point that it does work, or my point that it doesn't work. But I want it to work this time. Hit the thumbs up over on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Sitting at 170, we'd love to be closer to 400, 450 is our goal. Help us get there. That is your one and possibly only ad of the day today from me. But Peter, let's go over to our community events and announcements. And Peter's going to give you more ads here and see if that's going to work on what is happening today on this beautiful Thursday. Take it away, Peter.
Thursday, we focus on psychology, and we've got 3 different events for you today to take advantage of. In the chat room, if you're a Bearable Trading member, Trend Trading webinar, that's Lenny's leading that at 11 a.m. That's for our elite members in the webinar room. What may be interesting to everybody is Nathan is going to be talking about Trading Terminal. He's got a webinar in Trading Terminal, so it's free for everybody. That's at 1 o'clock. So all you have to do is go to tradingterminal.com, look for the webinars tab, which is on the menu on the left-hand side, and you can join his webinar, which is a completely free event. It's about mastering price action. He's going to talk about how he uses Market Atlas to make that happen. That's at 1 o'clock, so it's a live event happening today, 1 o'clock in tradingterminal.com. So hopefully you'll attend that. And then back in the chat room, if you're, again, an elite member, you can join our mentorship session. It's a small group mentorship session for anybody that wants to join. You can ask your questions, get them answered. Gary is going to be leading that, going in depth at 8 p.m. tonight. So that'll be our evening, signature session. But again, the Trading Terminal one is great for anybody that just wants to join. Again, tradingterminal.com. If you don't already use our tools, they're great, and you can click again on that webinar tab, and you're going to see it should pop up right away with the live webinar by Nathan happening at 1 o'clock today. So as the ticker is counting down, you can see it's just 4 hours and 44 minutes away. So there you go. That's going to be happening over the course of the day. If you want to join us at Bearable Traders, and be part of the trading community in that chat room where really, I mean, we get in depth on all sorts of things. We talk stocks, and you can sort of commune with a bunch of like-minded traders all day. Then it's a great place to go. Go to bearbulltraders.com, and you just scroll down. You can see the different membership options. We still have our St. Patty's Day sale going on for the rest of this week. If you want to join as an elite member, you can get that 50% discount off the elite annual, or if you just want to kick the tires, join using our intro offer. So hopefully we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon. All right. And by the way, just for us here, yeah, click the thumbs up, the like button. We would deeply appreciate that. It would be awesome, and it helps with the channel and the awareness and the growth, and hopefully the algos, right? We love you, algos. I'm saying that now so they hear me and they listen. We love YouTube. We love the algos. Put us up so that other people see us, and we can grow this channel. There you go. All right, let's get ready here. The open's coming quick. I feel I've got some work to do to get ready here because I want to be ready for the open trades should they happen.
Yep, absolutely. Let's get over to some levels, friends. And if Andrew does pop in, we'll see him in a few minutes. But if not, we'll be ready to go here. Let's look at TWO. Oh, no, TWO is, what is this? Gapping up on our list. Okay, just made its way to a gap up list. Wanted to figure out what's going on there, but I don't see anything great. It's popped up 11% this morning, 1.1 million shares traded. Two Harbors Investment, I think it is the name of the company. But yeah, not looking great. All right, let's look at our watch. Let's get some levels in place. Here is Rivian, RIVN. Again, making some moves this morning. Can it continue? We've seen this plenty of times before where it pops up in the pre-market, right? Moves up in the pre-market and then doesn't do much as far as the market opens. So we've seen that at least twice where we looked at Rivian. Let's see if today can be any different with the news they got going on. High of the pre-market this morning. We're setting it up at 1740. The low is just below all the previous day close, and highs and lows of the last two trading days down at 1535. So 1535 there for Rivian, and then you got plenty of levels just stuck in the highs and lows there and the previous day close. Gonna pick two towards the bottom, 1494. And then right where the price action is, seems to be a level as well. That area, that's 1662, you can see there. Got a couple of stuff happening here, a little bit here, and then some over here as well. Towards the top, in case we do push higher, we do have 1846 towards the top there. Let's look at MU, the big one for today with earnings. Again, crushing their earnings, spending tons of money in AI, but dropping this morning, down 6%. Just again, as Peter mentioned, I think they're just priced to perfection. There's nowhere to go up or down. I mean, there's nothing they can do to get a pop here. So that's what it seems like. And probably the market sentiment right now is not helping them. They're down 5 to 6% here. 447.36 is the high of the pre-market. The low is down at 427. Towards the top, plenty of levels, highs and lows for the last two trading days. Their new all-time high, 476, is here. Let's see if they can make their way back up there. Between the high and low of the pre-market is a level right here, 438.28. Good area. And then we also have 416.50, another area on there as well. Let's head over to our good buddy NVDA, which is probably going to be moving in sympathy with MU. And it's also just a great usual suspect to keep an eye on. Speaking of usual suspects, we did not look at Tesla. We'll look at that after we're done here. 178.01 is the low at the moment. We seem to be playing around with that right now. 175.70 towards the bottom there, and then all the way down here, 171.75 towards the top. I don't think you need to do anything. Pre-market high, pretty much smack where the previous day close is. Highs and lows for the last two trading days pretty much got you covered. Nothing to do there on NVIDIA towards the top. SOV heavily in play, guys. Gold, silver, mining companies all on the downside of the gappers list today. I'm going to be looking at SOV clearly in play here, getting a little bit of a bounce from the pre-market low here, the 59.31 pre-market high, up at 65.88. So we'll mark that as well, and we'll see how this plays out. So towards the top, levels from the last couple of days are doing a good job there. Towards the bottom, just in case. We haven't been here in quite some time, guys, because again, silver, gold, all this stuff has just been, as Peter was breaking it down earlier, exploding, not following any technicals, any rules, just going pretty much parabolic. I think we would call this somewhat parabolic. I mean, this is just out of control, right? So coming back down to, I guess, reality a little bit here, but doing it in a very, very active fashion this morning. Next is Baba, friends, earnings last night. I'm going to put this on my list. I do love when Baba trades well. Has not been we have not seen that in a while. It trading well, but today let's see what happens. 123.60 is the low of the pre-market. We got a level here at 129.09 in midpoint of the pre-market high and low, and then towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close pretty much got you covered there. I want to get another level towards the bottom in case we do find some more weakness. Look at that low of the pre-market. No question why that's there. You can see the support over a couple of days back in July and August there. Towards the bottom, just in case, 119 kind of covers this back and forth range, right? Back and forth range there on Baba. All right, friends, there it is. That's what we have. Peter, what is our team looking at this morning?
All right, our team has got their lists in and watching a lot of the stuff we've talked about. Brendan is going to be watching NVIDIA, Micron, Baba, Silver, that of course, we're focusing on, and Tesla. We've got Brian that's trading live in the chat room. He's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, and PLTR. Megan, you're going to be trading over with our friends at Peak Capital Trading with all our people in the boot camp. So that's she's going to be focused over there. Mike is going to be watching NVIDIA. I'm going to be keeping an eye on a lot of the stuff we've talked about. Focus on Micron, Rivian, Swimmer, Swarmer, SWMR, and then Gold, GLD. So those are, I think, the highlights. Yeah, it's I don't know what to expect. Could be an interesting open here. I keep saying that. Yesterday I thought so. It wasn't quite as interesting as I'd hoped, but we did get good moves. It just took a little bit of time for them to get going. And Carlos, of course, as usual, you traded pretty awesome. So let's hope you can do that again today.
Yeah, this week has been actually better than expected because we're getting the continuation, right? And which is nice. So yeah, this week has been really, really nice for us. All right, we're set, friends. 7 minutes to the market open, less than 7 minutes to the market open. We are good to go here on our watch list. We'll get ready here with our 5 minute and our 1 minute, and we'll start looking for opportunities. A lot of new people in the channel, guys. Make sure to subscribe and like so you can come back. We're live every day starting at 8 a.m. I could tell there's a lot of new people because of the names, a lot of new names that I haven't seen before. So welcome, guys. We'd love to have you come back here and join us as we prepare for the market open, trade live with you. Andrew comes out a little bit later, shows us what he did, and again, it should be a whole lot of fun having you guys here in chat. So good morning, Brent. Good morning, Viet. Samir, good morning. We got Nano Pulo, which I thought was a guy, but it's a lady. So good morning to you. Okay. All the time I kept saying, good morning, man. Good morning, man. She's like, I'm not a man, just FYI. I'm like, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Good morning, my friend. Yeah, adults wasting time. And good morning to all you guys. Awesome. All right. We are set. We are set.
Okay. I was looking at our schedule here and our calendar. Yeah. Anyways, we'll get that worked out. Yeah, a couple things. Micron, I'm bullish on Micron. I think that we might see a recovery as we head towards as the opening bell rings. So I'm going to be looking for a pull through VWAP. Probably we're going to get an initial move, a pullback if we could to 435, which might give me an entry for a long. If I'm wrong, this could be an expensive one to be wrong at because it moves so aggressively recently. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'd be looking for in terms of setup, right? I need that initial move and then a pullback, then I can take it long. Basically, I want a VWAP bounce here, even if it's in the opening, even if all of that happens in the opening 2 minutes. That's what I'd be looking for. Rivian, I'm not sure about the direction. We are higher, of course, on the news that they got that $1.25 billion investment from Uber, and they've additionally ordered tens of thousands of vehicles for their autonomous fleet. So Rivian is sitting in a good position. Again, I think there's more upside here, but I'm really unsure. This is untested space for Rivian. So I think that, I'm going to keep an eye on it and just see which direction it goes. If you look at the daily chart, there's so much room to the top side. This was a stock that was at $22 back late last year. So I think we could go there, but it's not looking as strong right now as I was hoping. So maybe much the same pattern, right? A move higher, pull back to the VWAP, and then we can get a push. That would be good. The other one I mentioned is Swarmer that I'm keeping an eye on. It's moved a lot, and we've got no history on this. This will only be its third day of trading, so it's really tough to tell. I'm going to be very cautious on that. Any trade I will take will not be in the opening 10 or 15 minutes. It'll have to be after that because I just don't know what to expect out of Swarmer. And yeah, I think those are the key. I mean, Tesla, of course, always in play. You know, we're gonna have to see what the market does as well. Of course, these markets are both down about just under 1%. 0.6% on the SPY, 0.8% on the Qs. So again, if they show significant weakness, well, that's going to erase any long trades I may be thinking of, right? If they show some strength, it may support what I'm doing. So, you know, I've got to sort of, we're going to be watching all this data together. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Should be a great day. On this Thursday, feels like a quick week, but I remember I was off on Monday, so it feels much quicker for me. But yeah, it's Thursday, so there we go.
Oh, what's happening? This is what happens when you hold on.
What happened? Did you go long on something?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just put the headphones on and I have to click that button. Now we look proper. There we go. Think.
MU has no levels up. Up. Yeah. No. Well, you mean from the all-time highs? Because from here we got this at the moment, right? We got these levels here on the daily. So we have that. We have that there. Let's see here. All right, let's do a poll. We'll do a poll for today to get ready for the market open. I don't know. I mean, now it looks weak, no question. You look at MU, it looks rather weak right now. But how many times have we seen this? And the stock is along the entire day, right? So, again, just trade your setup. Try not to go in with a bias of what can happen. Try to focus on the setup itself. But we'll see. We'll see. Right now, looking very weak. I agree with you. This is dropping here to the new pre-market low. Let's mark that, right? 424.21. It's our new pre-market low, so we'll do that there. And let's see what it does.
Equipment issues in studio here. We're good. All right.
What is Peter doing with my Explorer? I shipped it out to him. I shipped him up my Explorer, and he's gonna take care of me.
Just so I can clean the snow off of it. That's why.
There you go. There you go.
All
right, friends. Minutes to the market open. Let's focus in. Let's get ready.
Yeah, let's get back in.
Patience. Please stick to your setup.
Hang out with Carlos's other vehicle here.
That's my favorite.
That's
definitely my favorite.
Driving the garbage truck around. All right, guys. Minute till the open. Let's see where we go. Micron is dropping here, so we'll you know, again, my premise, my setup could be completely wrong on this one, and I get no trade opportunity. I reserve the right to change my mind if we get presented with new data.
Even after all these years, the market open is still special. 9:30 special, guys. It really is. And we've been doing this for 7+ years. And every time this bell rings, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. There it goes.
Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. All right. I love it. Whoa, everything's dropping out of the gate.
Everything's looking weak.
Macaroni.
Yes. Oh, Chris MC, I forgot to block Chris MC. Chris MC got blocked. Forgot to do that. We'll do that in a second. All right, MU.
Whoa.
Had a good talk with him. All right, let's see here. MU. Rivian's nothing burger. MU drop and look at it pull up here. So yeah, you just never know. Your dash froze. That happens sometimes when you gain so much volume. You might get some freezes. We've seen that before. And today could be one of those days where the volume is just much higher than usual. I haven't checked, that's not a fact, but it could be one of those days where it's just too much going on. All right, MU did a very weird 1 minute engulfing pattern towards the downside. I don't trust it though. I don't think that's a good short engulfing pattern. Could be a good long 1 minute ORB. If it holds here, I don't know. I don't know. NVIDIA continues to drop. SLV showing some signs of strength here. SLV. So I normally don't trade these stocks, but yeah, well, I'm gonna take a long on silver. Long on silver, stop 161.64. So it's pretty much like a 40-cent stop. Let's see if this thing is gonna regain some of the moves, some of the losses from this morning. So long silver. Let's see if we get some action on this one. Stop 40 cents, guys. I'm not gonna let this go any further. I normally don't trade these type of tickers. So let's see if we can get the move higher. All right, 61.60 is our stop. Just right below the.
There we go.
Candle.
All right.
You're in something too, Peter?
I went long Micron. Yeah, I went long Micron. It was holding at this level. It's pretty skittish here, but I went long. I just took a partial.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not getting the continuation that I needed immediately. It needed to immediately go up through 430. Looks like it's going to come back and stop me out. Let's see what it does. Yeah, damn it, took me out. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
okay, well, at least I got a good fill on that on the exit. Really quick trade, just made a couple of bucks on that. It's too. I was, again, like I said, I was long bias, and it just didn't prove what I was looking for. Not my typical trade. You can see. Anyways, I'm not sure if you got. I actually got in. I added to it when it was holding, and then got a partial, and then stopped out. So real quick trade for me.
Yeah.
And look, maybe now it's gonna. I know we talked about holding longer. I just on something like this where you've got
it's a tough spread. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the spread's going between 30 cents and $1, so it makes it really hard to manage your risk on this. I took pretty small size.
Yeah. But, I'm out on silver, friends. SLV, I was long on that one. 61.60 was our stop, so he came right to it. And let's see if he wants to break down. He did do kind of like an engulfing to the downside now, but I will have to wait to see if this thing wants to do anything better. MU, looks like MU does want to go, right? You're out of it now, but it's just no influence.
I'm out of it now.
It looks like it wants to go here. Now it is tough getting below the VWAP.
It does. It does. The problem is if you look at the level 2 on the Atlas information, it doesn't look. There's not a lot of orders here on the top side. There's a bunch of orders at 420 on the downside, but there's nothing on the top side. So I'm not being supported by the order book, and that was another reason why I decided to jump out of it. So I'm okay with my decision on this one. It was again I tried it. Didn't quite, set up the way I was hoping. Rivian didn't set up the way I was hoping. It's not doing much here so far this morning, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like we said, it would have been good if the market had have popped up and supported my long direction trade. The market, I don't know what the market's doing. It's not doing much, right? It's largely sideways, as you can see on my little charts here. It's not just doing hanging out. It looks like the market wants to go down. So.
I'm still looking at SLV. I would love it to go above the VWAP here, and that could be a 5-minute ORB breakup. But right now, it's kind of hesitant at this moment. So if we do get above this 62 area here, I will take it for a possible 5-minute ORB now. But we have to wait and see for that setup to develop. Oh my goodness! Look at NVIDIA. What? I was looking at the wrong ticker.
NVIDIA is just a solid sell-off. Just a solid sell. So is Tesla.
Oh, we forgot to bring. We mentioned it to go back to Tesla, and we didn't. I forgot to go back to Tesla, and I didn't have it here front and center this morning.
Martin, if you're having trouble,
nice.
my DAS is working fine. Try changing quote servers. Sometimes it happens where one or more of their quote servers sort of gets stuck. You might want to
Wow.
change quote servers if you haven't already, and see if it clears it up. If you don't know how to do that, we can help you out with that too.
Oh, nice trade, Andrew on Tesla, guys. So
Uh,
Andrew taking a short on Tesla in the chat. Yeah, sit down and
Andrew
reboot.
always manages to figure these things out, eh? Where he's not afraid to jump in and chase something.
Let's see here, Rivian. Rivian's a tough trader. I traded this one before in the past. The price action is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It's like very jumpy. It's like a very jumpy price action, if I could describe it in that way. It is doing some kind of VI breakout here. But again, see how it trades? It's just, I don't know why it trades like that. So, not my favorite ticker. All right, friends, nothing for me. Red trade on SLV. Not much, just 40 cents loss there. We'll wait to see what else we can get set up for here. So, oh yeah, Baba. Let's take a look at Baba. Baba also is a nice short out of the gates. Let's see here.
So MU is coming back up above VWAP. It's finally got through the 130. It's a shame. It's just a shame it's so choppy to get there. I still am bullish on Micron. I don't want to chase it here, but look at that. Now it's popping.
Yeah,
I see. This is where I just don't have that. I don't have
me
that
neither.
killer
I can't get in
instinct that
here
Andrew
long.
does.
No, I can't get long here. Just
Yeah,
go.
like
yeah,
when it broke
it.
through and it got through the 130, if I'd gone long there, I'd already be up almost $3, right? Like, or more than three now. So that would have been a decent move. So I can't. Andrew's like great at doing that. He's like, no, chasing it, off I go, and it works out for him so often. I don't know why. I
and
can't
this one would have worked too. Like, look at it now. It is rocking. Question: Why do I went long silver? This was engulfing, 1 minute engulfing pattern. You don't see me trade this a lot, so that's what you're saying. It's not my setup, but I do trade the 1 minute engulfing. It's the only trade that I take on the 1 minute play, right? So we got in above the re-up, went long, didn't get the push up, so we stopped out. What I don't trade often is silver. I don't trade this stock, this ETF much. So again, we didn't risk much, only about 40 cents there, so not too bad. But yeah, this 1 minute golfing, you don't see me trading much, but it's a strategy I do have on my playbook here. Here's MU, did do the pullback and looks like it wants to go higher. Not typically our set view at breakout setup here, but it does look like it wants to go here. NVDA, let's see if NVIDIA can come back up to the VWAP. SOV, messy now, so it's not really doing anything. I was hoping it would come back up here for 5 minute ORB, did not, so we're not looking at that no more. Baba just losing steam here for the most part. Tesla, let's see if it can get to the VWAP. Meta, nothing burger out of Meta, Francis. Nothing happening there. Coin, oh, coin. Okay, let's see what coin does here at the VWAP. So we got a couple of potential VWAP plays that are setting up nicely. Let's see if they can deliver. Coin is one of them, so keeping an eye on that one, and let's see what else gets there. You're in coin, very nice, man, very nice. So I'm assuming you're in coin. Well, long or short? What are you doing with coin? Oh, let's see here. PLTR, another one we haven't looked at in a couple of days. PLTR right now, I don't know. It got a big drop here at the moment. I see it personally. You know, it can go either way. It's just back and forth below the in and out of the VWAP. It can break out either way. I don't see a I don't see an edge, long or short at the moment. So
Oh man.
we can break here, get to the previous day close. That could be nice. This is the
Oh,
last time buyers
Carlos.
came in and pushed it down. Are you oh, I see what's going on, Peter. I see where the
Such
stress
a
is
wimp.
coming from.
Such a wimp.
MU.
Such a wimp.
It's,
Look at that.
hey man,
I should have
it's a
stuck
tough
with
one.
it when it broke through. I called it to you guys. Did please somebody tell me you took
Yeah.
MU exactly when I called it, or
I
even
know,
earlier?
man.
Me?
It's
No.
a good one. It's a good one,
There,
man.
look. So some of you looks like you took it. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. See? Do as I say, not as I do.
Where's the sign? You just got
Oh
a
my
sign on
goodness.
this, man. Gotta look at the sign. Gotta look down at the sign, Peter. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But again, easier said than done. Easier said than done. All right, friends. Searching.
Oh. So
Rivian.
frustrated.
Rivian's messy. Got Amazon.
Oh,
Nice, good.
oh man.
Mm-mm. Yes, calling it is no
Oh,
use to us. Or you if you don't take it. Not that you should be
I
following our
am.
trades. Or not
I'm
that you
not
should
good
be.
at getting back
Yeah.
into something once I decided to get out. I'm actually okay.
Yeah.
I'm still okay with my first trade on MU. But now that I'm looking at the chart, yeah, I clearly, I was long bias. I had that, I should have got back in. Like, there's no
Yeah.
reason not to. Anyways, I got to work on it, Carlos, a bit at a time, right? I'm going to build
That's
this
it.
strategy. I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
painful process.
It is. It is. It is.
My God.
I'm not getting good VWAP breakouts, guys. All I'm getting is the break, slightly pull back, no third candle confirmation. It just goes. It just goes, right? Coin is doing the same thing here. I can't join this now. MU did the exact same thing. Breakout, slight pullback, right? No confirmation candle. It just goes, right? So we're not getting good VWAP breakouts that, as you guys know, you guys seen us trade this a ton here. And I'm just not getting this setup today, which is okay. I'm not complaining. We had so far a great week given the way the market's been, but for some reason today things are just hitting the VWAP and running, and they're not pulling back. Let's see what Tesla does. Tesla's at the VWAP, coming to the VWAP. Let's see what this one does here. See if we get a shot at this one here this morning. All right, let's take a look. While we wait for this, let's see what you guys think. Let's have our poll for the day. Sending it out now. We have 1,100 viewers, friends. So hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We appreciate it. We're sitting at 292. Let me refresh. We'll love to be at our goal of 400. Yesterday we hit 500. That was awesome. That was awesome. So if that could be the new goal, you guys are amazing. But yeah, help us out. Helps the channel out a ton. There's the poll. Are you affected by ads you see? Let me know. Let us know. And let's see what you guys have there. All right, and Tesla, you're calling out AMD. Mo, let's take a look. AMD. Oh, yeah, AMD. AMD looks right at the VWAP. Here would have been the breakout on AMD. And you don't got to risk much. Like, this is 50 cents for a good stop. Maybe 60. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. All right, 86 entries so far. I ignore them like a pro. You see, I'm not the only one. There's some ignoring like a pro here, Peter, on our ads. Like it. Keep them coming. Let's see what we end up with here. All right, AMD failed the VWAP breakout as of right now. So more careful on this one. Again, it's right on the VWAP, so it's hard. But this candle looks very positive if it can hold here. That candle looks very positive. You know, we're gonna go. No, no, no. Hold on. Wait, wait. I almost went long, but I don't know. It looks suspect, friends. AMD. All right, let's go. Let's go long AMD. Stop 194. That's 80 cents, a little more than what I would like. But let's see if we can get the momentum here. This is like a B category 2 VWAP breakout. It's messy. It's not the cleanest thing on the shelf here. But yeah, let's see. 194 is our stop. See if we can get the continuation here. Tesla was the other one that was coming up to the VWAP as well. Just gonna take a quick look, see if it's there. No, it's just right under it. Baba far away from it. SOV nasty, and nothing else happening here. All right, so AMD is the best candidate if we can hold here. Ah, come on, stay above the VWAP. What are you doing to me? Stay above the VWAP. And this is why we like to put the stop slightly below 194. Even if we get stopped out, you don't want to get them so slightly below the VWAP, because they tend to do is come back and test the VWAP. Now, can they actually hold and the VWAP do its job is what we're waiting to see. So big indicator. We love the VWAP. We have it in tons of our strategies. And this is what we're hoping. See if we can get the breakout. Oh, don't tell me that. I did forget to check Atlas. I'm not going to lie. I forgot to check Atlas. Don't tell me it's all downhill on AMD. I got to remember to do that. Got to remember to open up Atlas. It's such a great tool. You're on mute? What's going on, Peter?
I'm talking to you on mute. No wonder you're ignoring me.
I would never. You know right away. As soon as if I ignore you, you're on mute, because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
To my buddy.
No, I know. I was saying that when you entered, the market looked good, but then the market took a sudden dip down, which pulled AMD with it. But now it's recovering a little bit. So let's hope. AMD seems to just be following the market this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough one there, Carlos. It's I still have tons of regret over MU here, but
Yeah, but if let's say you would have chased it here, no, that's actually still like $5. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty. I was gonna try and make you feel better, but I'm not.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Not gonna work this time.
By all measures. It would have been one that it would have worked. Again, I'm just not good at following up. Once I've taken the trade, I sort of mentally like it's over, because I think that's how I've trained myself, right? Because again, my trades later in the day, there's no second shot at them, right? You either take them or you don't. And the open's different. The open sometimes, you take a couple of stabs at it. So it's fascinating to me how I unintentionally have trained my brain in a way that I'm really struggling to break out of that mold, to learn a new trading style. And it's good for me. Awesome. It's good for me to understand it personally, but it's also good for my ability to help educate and help others in their journey, because sometimes you think, I don't understand why I'm struggling so much. It could be that you've inadvertently, through trading or other things, wired your brain in a way that while you intellectually understand the actions that might need to be taken, practically it's tough for you to implement them because you're not wired that way. I'm using the term very loosely, but hopefully you know what I mean. So yeah, it's strange. I'm finding it a fascinating activity here, fascinating experience. The other thing I'm doing actively is I'm looking for my darn PC. Where is this thing, man? At 4:59 a.m. this morning, Carlos, it arrived at the sorting facility in my region. So that's good. It's 5 a.m. It got finally delivered. Took a lot longer than it should have. In any event. So hopefully it'll get delivered today.
I'm sorry, Salim, the screen you're looking at is my screen. This is my screen here, and when you see this screen, this is Peter's screen that you're looking at, right? So we're both using DAS Trader Pro.
Yep.
But this is my screen you're looking at. It's got it filtered under 1 minute, but I don't want to show you the mess behind it, because you'll be like, I'm crazy, but it's messy. Last time I showed it, people were like, what? Why do you have all this on your screen? It's so distracting. But so I don't want to scare you.
AA 27231. When you zoom out on Atlas, It does change levels, but it depends where you zoom out, right? You can use the scroll on your mouse. If you scroll over on the right-hand side where the prices are, that'll scroll the vertical range. If you scroll over where the visual representation of orders are on the left, then it'll actually change the how much you see in terms of time range, right? So be aware of that, right? It depends where you scroll. But yes, you don't have to like enter numbers anymore. It's dynamic based on how you scroll. So I find that very useful. Just know scrolling in the different parts, scroll different things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I get a refund on Atlas since it's very laggy? Yo, man, that's like saying, can I get a refund on
I
DAS because it's laggy? DAS is not gonna give my money back. They no way, man. That's part of the business. You deal with that
I
lag from the volume. But uh,
I don't think yeah, I haven't experienced any lag. I mean, I've been using it every day here, and
yeah,
it looks fine here. I wonder if it's I'm
it
not
could
sure.
be so
Maybe
many
it's a
things. No,
regional
but
or
but,
it
but
depends where
yo,
you're
man,
coming from.
on a
Yeah.
serious note, it could be so many things. It could be the machine, your browser. It could be data for that day. Like today, we're seeing lag on DAS a little bit. I think I'm not seeing it, but some people are complaining just because of the amount of volume. So it could be so many things, man. But yeah, hopefully you're able to refresh it and get that lag gone away. Not for me, but some people, a lot of people in chat complaining that DAS is laggy, and I think that's just because of the sheer amount of volume that we're seeing today, probably. So, um, but yeah. Oh no, Ben Paris, you fumbled your train terminal account. No,
Oh no. Oh
looking at the
no.
wrong Atlas
Don't.
ticker. So you pulled up the Atlas ticker and you traded a different one, or vice versa. Either way, that sucks, man. Um, did you blow it up, or are you still able to recover? Hopefully, you're still able to recover. Um, hopefully you are. Let's see here. All right, AMD is just kind of stuck. Like we're moving in the right direction slowly, but it is in the right direction. So hoping that can continue. AMET, Applied Materials. What did we do on Applied Materials? Yeah, did react here pretty nicely. Very light volume though. I don't see how I would have traded. I don't have a setup for this one, but yeah, you can see it go here. A couple of bucks up this morning from the lows of the day. So that is doing pretty nice. Hoping AMD can grab on to a new high here above 195.80. And hold on to this 9 moving average and move higher. Hopefully the SPY can help me as well to get this over. We'll start taking a partial at around 196. We'd love to see a partial there. The next big level on AMD. I'm going to take a look at the daily here. Previous day close. That's far out. I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. So let me get a best level between the previous day close and where we are right now in the price action. It might be 197.89. I don't think I'm going to hold all the way to that.
197 is a good
Yeah.
level, I think. The whole
Yeah.
dollar there.
A whole dollar might be better. But yeah, you can see there's a couple of things there on
Well,
the daily.
yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean,
might
the
not.
whole dollars
Yeah.
are always good, but 197 was a level pre-market, and if I go back to a 60-minute chart,
Mm-hmm.
I can see a couple of times where it seemed to have used that for support, so or
Yeah. Yep.
resistance. So I think that yeah. But yeah, 196, you should definitely take a partial. Come on, let's do it for Carlos.
Yeah. Let's
Go
see if we can get
AMD.
up
I want to
there.
see Carlos with a good trade on this one. I'm still just kicking my own ass here over Micron. So
Oh
again,
man.
congrats to everybody that
Wow.
took it
Look at
properly.
beautiful.
If you're having
I'm
problems with
holding
Atlas,
here.
do send
Yeah.
feedback in through the tool or send it directly to Andrew. He's personally monitoring that stuff. You know, it's always good to understand what you're seeing because, you know, again, we may be on the good servers and maybe there's parts of the world that aren't being served well. We got to figure that out with our provider. So, but yeah, let
Yes.
us know.
Yes.
We want
Yes.
everybody to have a good experience with it. So, I said I've been using it nonstop, and I haven't really experienced any data problems, any lags or dropouts. It's been pretty smooth here, and I have it up all day. So
Yeah, yeah, same. You want me to look at Tesla? Man, I thought we are really gonna push higher above 196. I'm being patient. I don't know if I'm being patient or stubborn. I don't know which one. It could fall
yeah,
on both sides of the field here, but
it's a fine line, isn't
fine
it?
line. It is. It is. Like I want to gain as
There
much
you
as
go.
possible, but I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah, 196 I
Like
would take.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is good. I'm gonna take a
I would say
partial
now
here.
that we've pushed through
Yeah,
196 again, well, if it comes back to 196, take that partial. If
yeah.
it
I
does,
did.
if it
I did.
stays higher, oh, okay, well, so that
Yeah,
just when I do get into a trade, which has been rare recently, that lasts for a long time,
yeah.
I usually like to play that game where I set a level and I'm like, okay, once it pushes through that level, I'll just wait. And if it stays above the level, then you don't take the partial. If it drops back
Then
to
it
that
drops
level, then
below
take the
it.
partial.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Because
I
that
done
way
that before. Yeah, yeah.
you can preserve your size for as long as possible, but like I would have taken a partial here anyways. So I'm not losing
Yeah.
anything by taking one even later when it pulls back to that, because that's where I would have taken it on the way up. So I might as well wait. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it just keeps going and you're like, damn, like I was going to take it at 196, for example. I can take that partial 197, 8 or 9 just because it just hasn't stopped. Now, in this case, you would have taken the partial anyways because it did pull back through 196. So,
Yeah,
but it's a
yeah.
good way to manage your trades when you can.
Absolutely. Andrew taking it long on MU and short on Tesla. He took that short on
Yeah,
Tesla very early. So Andrew
yeah, it
doing his
did.
thing both ways, long and short. I think Andrew trades more long than short. So it's nice to see him take some
He
short
does.
trades.
He does.
So that's
For sure.
nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. That's nice. We'll look at his trades in a second. If you want to see him trade live, guys, BaberTrades.com. Head over there. $39. That could be a half a half a tank of gas for you now. So, especially if you're driving like a Tundra, for half a tank of gas, you can get access to the entire week at Bearwood Traders. So, you're gonna get more value than you can drive for half a gas tank on your car. So, that's for sure. But yeah, head over there. Check Andrew and Brian out trading live, and then we're on all day. We're on all the way to 4 o'clock there. So a lot happening. Different moderators come on, Paris and others, Megan, all on there in the chat. All right, we're just babysitting our AMD trade long here off the view at breakout. Man, look at our. Let's just think about how great this trade worked out. As far as the entry, right? We executed it here. But our stop, right? Let's not forget how good our stop was. And this is why we put our stop slightly below the VWAP every single time. Why? Because we expect this. We expect the stock to come back, retest the VWAP. It did just that. Thankfully, it did not get to we had like 194, was it? Our stop came very close, but we're staying calm, cool, and collected. Let the price action do its thing. If it stops us out, it stops us out. But the VWAP did its job, and we are back up here. One partial in, getting a lot of resistance here right now. So another partial below 195.80 might be in the books. Let's see what happens if that's the case. Still hard to trade short. Most of my loss in short trades. How can I handle it? That's it. So most of your losses are on short trades, and I wouldn't trade short. Like there's some people that just don't trade one side of the field, and there's nothing wrong with that. If your data is telling you, hey, you make money going long, that's what I'm doing. I'm making money going long. I'm not going to go short. And if you do want to build your short game, maybe do it on the funded account or do it on a simulator, But I know John in our community, he only trades longs, right? So he's not trading any short plays. So there's nothing wrong with that. Do what makes you money. I hear people sometimes saying, oh, you got to trade this way. There's a couple of things that irk me and get under my skin. That's one of them. You have to do things one way. No, you don't. No. You do things the way you make money. The way you make money, that's the way you do it, right? So don't fall into this, oh, don't do what this person's doing, do what that person's doing. Oh, why Andrew take so many partials? Who cares? Is he making money? Okay, that's it. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Hell yeah, he is.
If he's making money, taking his 20 partials,
yeah.
So what's your problem? Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah. You
so
gotta, again,
do it your way. I'm telling you. My blood is boiling. Don't get me boiling. Don't get me going here, Peter.
Look at you.
Ooh.
You're on a rant.
Ah.
And yeah, could Andrew theoretically make a ton more money if he didn't partial so much and waited? Sure. But you got to remember, Andrew's trading tens of thousands of shares at a time, right? Like he's
Right.
taking multi-million-dollar positions. So, when he's partialing, it's not it's a smaller part of a much bigger trade. So that's okay. That's his trading style. And again, is he making money? Yeah. So let's let him do it.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
unlike
Now,
me, who's not making
and
money,
just to
and
add to that, right? He was not always trading that size account, so his trading also changed. Like
no,
you're gonna change as
no,
a trader, right?
yeah,
If you have a smaller account, you're gonna trade
absolutely.
differently. He didn't trade like that all the time. We know Andrew for 7, 8 years now. We've seen his trading progress from this to that. And depending on your account size, it might be different. As you grow it, it will change. You can't trade the same. I'm gonna take another partial here just in case this is the end. But yeah, go ahead, Peter. You're saying?
Oh, I was saying, unlike me, who's not
Okay.
making money, because I'm watching Micron go through 440, and I'm still sitting here.
Oh man,
Carlos,
that's
I'm gonna go
that's tough.
self-flagellate now,
Yeah.
but maybe I shouldn't use terms that people might not know what they mean. They could take that wrong.
We use
Anyways,
gonna go into the corner in the fetal position, just kind of like,
yeah, yeah. It's
um,
I'm very upset. I mean, I told you guys what I was looking for pre-market, right? I told you I was long biased. I had the setup. I even tried it early and I let myself get stopped out and did
yep.
not re-enter. So this is completely on me, right? This is a psychological breakdown is really what's
It's
happening.
just-
And my failure to act is because, like I said, I'm so used to you try a trade and you're done, as opposed to you take a trade and then if it doesn't work, you can take another stab at it. Because the premise on which I was building my trade strategy was still in effect. It hadn't yet broken, and it's easy for me to say that now that I'm sitting outside of it, but again, I'm finding it very difficult to change my approach. So remember what I said pre-market, guys. I was focused with your help, actually. I was going to be holding longer and waiting for I wasn't going to let myself be stopped out as easy, and I felt I did that. I actually adhered to those rules as I laid them out for myself, but then I wasn't focused on the next set of rules that are particularly I need some work on, which is continuing to watch the trade opportunity as it develops and not being afraid to try again, take another shot at it. So,
yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
fascinating for me. This is all fascinating psychological exercise. But yikes, look at Micron. I hope some of you are still in it. It's going well. I only
It's
wish,
nice, man.
well,
Yeah.
AMD now just hit 197, Carlos.
Oh,
So
I
there's
partialed. Yeah, I partialed already. I got three
good.
partials in. This is working
Perfect.
out nice, man. What a great
There
trade.
you go. Good.
Uh, People are
Good.
asking to explain our trade here. So this is a messy VWAP breakout. And if you don't know what the VWAP breakout is, we trade it here all the time. We have a YouTube video free right on here on this channel. Just go look up VWAP under our channel, VWAP Carlos, and it'll come up. And basically is the VWAP breakout, right? We're looking for the breakout above VWAP, the pullback confirming the hold of the VWAP, and then the breakout, right? This one is a little bit messier. It's a category almost 2-3 on this situation, right? So, but we got in for that breakout, and then here is our stop. We had our stop at 194, slightly below the VWAP, and that's what we got into this trade. So, what you want to do is again check out that video. I go into a lot more details on it, on what we're looking for, entry, stop loss, patterns, and all that stuff, right? And the full video, which is available on Bearable Traders in our education center, that one is an hour long, and that one gives you I have tons of samples, like at least 10 different samples of trades I actually took of that strategy, which is very helpful. But we trade this a lot. If you're new and you're hanging out with us here, we trade this a ton in the channel. So you'll see a lot of these trades from us here. But yeah, let's see here. I love the comment. I am new. I don't know what's going on, but I feel smarter. That is awesome. Welcome, Dior Carter. Good to have you in chat, man. Welcome. All right, here we are. I'll tell you who took MU, Peter. Andrew
Yeah, I
took
know.
MU, and
Of
he
course he
is
did.
in,
What
out,
he does.
in, partial, add it,
Yeah.
out, and then he does this adding out thing, man. That's what really gets him. I got to add to my adding game. Oh, I like that. I gotta add to my adding game because if
Yeah.
you're able to add successfully like this, your P&L
Oh,
just shoots up. Like he's
yeah.
about to shoot up right now here. 1445, another
Yeah.
partial on Andrew. It's gonna be a great day for him. Um, that is awesome. Uh, that is awesome. So yes, a great trade. You also got Brian in chat. Got our members here as well. And yeah, definitely check it out. So, oh man, AMD going up to 197. Also, remember this morning where I forgot who mentioned, oh, MU could be a short. Look at MU, right? MU look weak, right? Coming into the market open, and look at MU, a long all day today. So you can't really have that bias, right? We've seen this, like I mentioned, so many times. We've seen this, right? And look at it now. Everything that was down, might not be green. A lot of stuff is still not green, but man, what a long opportunity on a lot of these tickers this morning, AMD included. We're hitting 197.89. I'm just gonna hold here. I've taken a couple of parcels already, as you see on the 5 minute. We've taken a couple of shots off of this, so I'm just gonna wait and see the loss of momentum. So now we start seeing the 9 and the 20. See his moving average. I just keep track of those. I want to see AMD just do healthy pullbacks on that. Eventually, the fun will be over, and hopefully by then we are out as much as possible from our shares that we have left. So, cause you think AMD will get to R3? Joe, what is R3? Give me the price. I don't have R's on my
I can help you with that.
Yeah, you have it.
R3 is 197.23 is what I've got it.
197.23. We're there.
Oh no, wait, that was yesterday's. Sorry, that was
Oh,
yesterday's. Today's is 201.42.
oh no, man, that's no. I don't think we'll get there.
201.42.
Not today. I don't think we'll get there. You got to go through so much. Previous day close, and then you got and then some. Nah, that's pretty high, man. I don't think we'll get there. If it is, it'll be much later in the day, or some news breaks out that the conflict, the war is over, everything is at peace, and
The
that'll be
war is
different.
over. That would be great.
That will shoot things up, all-time highs on everything. SPY, everything, all-time highs. Rocket Lab, you're going down if that happens. You saw Rocket Lab got a government contract and they popped up pretty good. RKT. Was it Rock? Where's the company?
RKLB.
RKLB. Yeah. So they got a military contract and they popped up this morning. Gave some back or pre-market, but back in the green. So they're getting some stuff done there. But yeah, it's yeah, that happens. We're done. Without Atlas and level 2, can I add to my trades? So Mo, you're saying without Atlas and level 2, can I add to my trades? I mean, you just have, you could. You're just gonna have less information to guide you, right? I think level 2 is important for the way we trade, right? Level 2 is gonna give you that. What is the likelihood of the price going here in the near time, in the short period of time, right? So, I think you can still do it, but I think it helps you a lot to have Market Atlas. Definitely got to have level 2. Like you gotta have level 2. I think you need to see that data. Sometimes you don't get nothing from level 2 or Market Atlas, right? The information as far as buyers, the supply and demand, there's just not there. So there's some tickers that level 2, Market Atlas is a visualization of level 2, as you guys know. So if level 2 has no data from the market, Market Atlas is going to show you the same thing. Sometimes you don't get anything, but if you are going to get something and it's against what you're trying to do, you want to have that data. You want to have that information of what's coming up, potentially, right? Nothing is certain. All right, moving average is curving a little bit here. Is the fun over on AMD? It might be, so I'm just going to take another partial, friends, here just to protect our profits in case this is over and we're going back to the VWAP.
Ooh, Rivian's getting a big drop right here. It's interesting. Swarmer is Swarmer reopened? It's reopened. Okay.
Yeah, did it get halted a couple of times? Oh yeah, once.
It got halted on an upward volatility, which is a good way to get halted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So there it is, partial on AMD, friends, and we'll see what we got here. Maybe 920 on SanDisk, SNDK. I'm not great on the 920, and I'll be honest, I don't understand it all that well. I know I did a quick short video on it before, but I was just using Brian's information, so I don't understand it as well as those guys do. Do you, Peter? The 920 do you got a full grasp on that strategy?
I mean, I understand it. I just, well, not fully, because it seems to me like it happens more often than Brian seems to acknowledge it, and I can't figure
Okay.
out when he specifically acknowledges when he doesn't. But it's a relatively straightforward strategy, right? You're just looking for a pullback to these levels, and oh, see, look, there's AMD, Carlos.
I know.
And
It's like I don't know why I take partials anymore. Every time I take a partial, like they came down to get me on this partial, man. I'm so glad it was a partial, not all out.
That was
Come
just,
on,
that was nervousness.
That's mean. That was mean.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, that was mean.
But who am I to talk?
I mean, you just don't know when the party's gonna be over, right? I don't want to be left here with whatever's left after 2 p.m. and have to take something home that I'm not gonna be comfortable with in my single days. Not anymore. You know, you want to leave with the good stuff, early. You don't want to be the 2 a.m. at the bar looking at the leftovers. Not good. Not good. No matter what side you're on, female or male, you just don't want to do that. Oh, boy. INTC went long, but I missed it. No, we didn't miss Rivian. Rivian was on deck. It's just, again, I'm in AMD, so I didn't see this one. But, oh yeah, see the feedback breakdown, pullback, and then the drop. Yeah, yep. That's decent, actually. But I've just been monitoring AMD for the most part. And the only reason I haven't taken a partial here is because I already took one here. So I'm trying to make my shares last here. Someone asked me earlier, like, we were talking about size, what we're trading. I don't risk much, guys. It's not that Andrew, thousands of dollars, right? $200, Sometimes I risk even just 150, 100. Like, like on MU, you don't got to risk more than $100 on MU. MU will give you that very easily, right? So you don't have to risk a boatload of money on stocks that move so much, like an MU, like a Tesla. I mean, for goodness sakes, MU today gave you, what is this, $5 to the top? No. Right, from here to here, what is this? This is $4.29. This is $5, guys. Oh, just $5. Yeah. Like, you don't gotta take 1,000 shares here, right? You take 50 shares, you're gonna do very well for a trade. So, again, it depends what your risk appetite is as well. And as we're talking about, it looks like oh man, look at 447. Peter, I know this is hurting you, man. This trade this is the type of trade that makes you a week. This makes your week. So like painful. You take off tomorrow and end up in the beach somewhere, and come back Monday.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Well, you are going to be doing that next week, but yeah.
Yeah. So.
Ideal risk reward 1 to 3 is ideal. I don't get that all the time, but 1 to 3 is ideal. I think that's a sweet spot, especially since we're parceling. You might get 1.8. 2, you might get this one's this is gonna have a good return because just the way it's running here. But when things are choppy, if you're aiming for 1 to 3, you can end up with a 1.5 and a 2 on choppy days, and that pays the bills, right? So I think 1.3 for my strategies is great. Other people, they're doing 1 to 5 on extreme reversals, and look at MU. Oh man, when Andrew comes on, he is gonna give you so much stuff for this. Peter, you take MU. He's partialing here. 449, and AMD is stalling on me. MU to the moon. Wow.
I know.
This is more of the real reaction that MU should have had on earnings.
So painful.
Yeah, this is slow burn.
So painful. And the reality is, it's not even green yet, right? I mean, we're still $14
Yeah.
away from where it closed yesterday. So now
Yeah.
this, this is the all-time high area that, what was all-time high just a couple of days ago. But, or last week, this would have been all-time
Yeah.
high territory. But this week, of course, it had been pushing higher. So, I mean, again, I'm looking back. My analysis was right on target. I knew what I was looking for. I just, once again, I'm got to fight my execution errors. So it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just painful. It's just painful.
Uh, Friends, I love the poll today. Look at the poll this morning. Are you affected by ads you see? 7%
Let's see.
being real honest here. I love that. Yes, I'm easily influenced. 16% only the really sneaky ones. Oh, okay. And then 54% I ignore them like a pro, and 24% ad resistance. So if you haven't voted yet, get your votes in.
So
310
I
votes
would,
there. Where do you land, Peter? Now that we got the results,
yeah.
where do you fall?
I said that only the really sneaky ones, but even that may be a little ambitious. I honestly believe 78% of you are self-deluded.
Hmm. Yeah, you
If you
think
on
so?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if you think you ignore them or you're ad resistant, I mean, look, to a certain degree, we're like it's not like we're all like foolishly easily influenced, but there's persistence in advertising, right? And that's what they
yeah,
know, right? Like this is why you got to give someone a message multiple times, and the more times you repeat something, the more it influences you, whether you know it or not. So that's the, anyways, it's
I agree. I agree. I mean, hey, it works. Like for example, I'm sure everybody knows this. The commercial, zoom, zoom, zoom. Who knows what that is? I guarantee you,
Carlos
60% or
did this
more of you guys
before.
know what that is. Let's see if you know what that jingle is. Mazda, right? Are you buying a Mazda? No, but you know it. But I'm not buying a Mazda. So it works. It works. It gets the job done. But so I feel like I'm aware of that what that is. I'm not my next car. I'm never pulling into a Mazda dealership. It's just not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, yeah. Um, McDonald's. That's McDonald's, Mr. Sean.
You mentioned McDonald's. It's funny. My wife, she eats pretty healthy. She she
Mm-hmm.
she really does. She eats very healthy, and I keep anyway. She just it's just what she likes to do, and she's good at it, and she's anyways. But it's this pressure from society that you got to have a certain body image, right? And let's face it, my wife is a 4'10", you know, woman from the islands. She's never going to look like a supermodel. Like it's not in the cards. So,
Only
but
way I'm buying a Mazda if I see Harrison Ford driving one. There you go.
uh
Yeah,
anyways, but
that's you know what, and you're a dad of daughters, and that's a
yeah.
thing to be concerned about. I got my two daughters, and they're not at that
Yeah.
age yet where they're starting to uh, see things that okay, this seems to be the standard, but that's something of concern, especially at a younger age when your mind's still developing. Got to be careful. With this, this
Yep.
is the way people should look, right?
Well,
And some people, no matter
anyways,
how
the whole
healthy
point of
they
what I was
are,
saying,
whether they slim or
when
not, their body type is not going
yeah,
to fit that mold just naturally,
yeah.
right? So,
Well, that's the problem, right? And telling somebody that this is what beauty looks like, I think is problematic because my wife is an
yeah,
absolutely gorgeous human. She doesn't look like a supermodel, and I couldn't give a shit.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's not 4'10" is very tiny. It's like she really is. And I'm 6'1", so yeah,
Yeah, and you're 6'1". Yeah, it's
yeah
true. It's
we got
like
there's a more than a foot height difference between us. So yeah,
that
there's a,
is,
there's a big
yeah,
height difference.
it is a big
So
difference.
yeah. It's here. Let's see. I think I have one on my computer here somewhere.
Yeah, tech makes it worse. Correct, Joe. Tech makes it worse because now it's in your face as much as possible. Um, Let's see here. Come on, AMD. We could do this. Let's get to 198.50. Let's get up there. Andrew just destroying MU. He's adding here, looking for the break towards the high. I mean, he's added, I don't know how many times, and all of them have worked nicely. So he's devouring this thing on MU there nicely. Friends, you guys in chat, let us know how you're doing, what you're trading in. What's the situation? Are you long AMD? Are you long MU with Andrew? What are you guys doing? He's causing the movement? No, man.
Maybe.
Not an MU. MU's no. If he was trading like some 200,000 flow stock, maybe, but not MU. That's way too big. MU swallows those shares like nothing. Tesla, NVDA, these stocks, there's not enough money you could throw at these things, man. As a retail trader, it's just insane.
There you go, Carlos. There's a good picture that demonstrates the height difference between my wife and I.
Ah, that's a pretty. That's
Like
more than a foot. It's like a foot and a half.
Yeah,
from head to head. Yeah, at least from this angle. From this angle.
Yeah. Well, that's she's
awesome,
she's not a tall person. Anyways,
where is this?
You mentioned
by the
McDonald's.
Way? Where's where you guys at there?
That's a Calabogie Peaks, is what the area is called.
Oh, nice.
Top of
nice.
top of Calabogie. Anyways,
nice.
But you mentioned, it's funny because she was we were talking last night, and I'm like, we were both tired, and we're like, oh, what do you want to do for dinner? And she normally like eats so healthy, and then and I said, what do you want for dinner? And she said, you know what I really want? I want a Big Mac. And I'm like,
nice.
You could have given me 20 guesses. I never would have got
that.
That
was not gonna be
the last time she said. The last time she's actually eaten a Big Mac is probably 30 years ago. Like, I don't know why that was in her head, but in any event, it was just one of those things where we didn't end up getting Big Macs, by the way. We got burritos, but it was just one of those where she said it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And she couldn't do it. She's like, no, I can't. I can't eat that. It's not good for me. I can't do it. So the burrito was the compromise. It's pretend good for you.
All right, we're getting mini double top on AMD on the 1 minute. Not suggesting a reversal yet. I like reversals on the 5 minute. Stronger pattern for me personally, but you're seeing a little bit of a pullback here. Friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up on YouTube. And if you're new, we'd love to have you come back tomorrow again when we continue live for the last day of the week, Friday, and next week as well. So subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when we're live here. We're live every day now at 8 a.m. Bringing you pre-market news, top news around the market world, and getting into market preparation and also live trading with Peter and I. And yeah, we'd love to have you guys come back. No, I didn't. I'm still in AMD. I am not in silver. So silver was our first trade. We risked about 40 cents here. It did eventually break out, but I think around this point, so many things were breaking out. You could have taken a lot of stocks. Like you could have taken MU. Look at it there. You could have taken in not NVDA, not so much. You could have taken BABA. See, right around this area. How about Tesla? Yeah, Tesla's having a hard time today. Back to the lows. Tesla's not feeling the love. You could have taken AMD with me. Meta, not so much. Coin and MSTR, both of them traded very, very nice, guys. So today is one of those days where we had so much opportunity. It was actually nice to see. It was really nice to see. And not just opportunities, we got the continuation, which we have not been getting a lot of in the prior weeks. But this week has been awesome. So let's capitalize on these moves.
Wow, you guys are making me hungry.
Oh, the food talk, huh?
Frank Castle says he wants a pastrami sandwich and a Miller Lite. That's his go-to food.
Miller
I got to say
Lights.
that there's a place in Montreal, Schwartz's, that has Montreal's known for its smoked meat. Smoked meat sandwich on rye. Oh my God, that is so delicious. When you're in the right mood, that is absolutely fantastic stuff. So
Me and Peter had breakfast like hours ago, and we're talking here about food. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think that's a good call, man. I'm, I'm starting to feel, you know, a little taste buds saying, "Hey, feed
Is it
me."
lunch? Is it lunchtime?
Feels
Yeah.
like it. Feels like it. While this talk. Um, Friends, if you want to join the Lambos and Garbage Truck, here's an ad for you. Speaking of today's an ad day. If you want to join the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, you can do so. Head over right on here on YouTube and you click on join the channel membership and you become a Lambos and Garbage Truck member. We'll be giving out videos for you that you can have access to. Plus, you also get access to the giveaway today for the funded account as well. So you can definitely check that out. So there it is. Yeah, the hashtag today would probably be that ads. Ads will be the hashtag. Not yet. In a few minutes, we'll turn it on. I just had
Yeah,
some
don't let me pick the
Chick-fil-A.
hashtag.
Oh, what will you have picked today? MU
I don't
or
know.
take the
Idiot.
trade?
Hashtag idiot.
Oh, nah, it's too
I'm sitting here
much.
like
Nah.
what was the movie? Was that Napoleon Dynamite? So stupid, stupid, stupid. Anyway, whatever movie that
Nah.
was. I'm sure it's from a bunch of movies. I'm sitting here
Yeah,
beating myself up. It's ads. Yeah, ads is probably a good one.
ads. It's the good
Anyways,
one for today.
I'm just so angry with myself. I wasn't able to concentrate on any other trades after that, so I haven't taken anything.
I feel like Family Guy has done that in a bunch of
I'm
episodes.
sure.
Um,
There's
Family
a bunch
Guy.
of stuff that has, you can't remember what movie it started in, but now it
Yeah,
becomes like a trend and so many other people use it, right?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Like what's that, like there's a new way that they start a movie where they show some person getting in trouble and then they always freeze frame it and they're like, "Yeah, that's me. You probably wondered how I got into this position." You know that
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing?
yeah. That's
Right? Like
good. Yep.
there was somebody pioneered that. That first appeared in some movie or show. I couldn't tell
Yeah.
you for the life of me which movie or show that was, but somebody did it first and then it's been copied like 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, and it's so
Like
effective. Like it is nice.
it
It
is.
is really, really
It's a cool
nice.
way to
It
actually start
works.
things.
Yeah. Didn't the
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street did that? I think they did that too. They had the scene with the car
Maybe, yeah.
or something similar. They did something like it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great way to start a scene. Oh, Deadpool does. I feel like on every chance
I
they
don't
get.
I don't know. See, I don't know who did it first. That's the real
No, it
question.
was before Deadpool. It's got to be one of those
Yeah, it's before
older
Deadpool. Limitless
1990s
did it, but I don't
movie.
think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Whole bunch of shows and
How I
different
Met Your
movies
Mother.
have used it.
That does that one too. Yeah. Carlos, can you turn the
The
funded
whole
account
show of how
24/7? Mm-hmm.
yeah, the
Go
whole
ahead.
show of How I Met Your Mother is based on that one line, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Uh, so question is, Carlos, can you trade on the funded account 24/7, or is it also time with the market? It's time with the market, so you have to trade within market hours from between 9:30 and 4 p.m. So it's strictly set for day trading, right? So you can hold stuff overnight.
Yeah.
You can swing trade, so it's meant to day trade. So whatever positions you have at 4 p.m., like 2 minutes before, they have to be closed. All right, market is diving. It's putting a hurt on our position here on AMD. Like it's putting a hurt on our move. What's not getting hurt is MU's MU and Andrew's trade. And I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, Peter, but this is just a beautiful. We got to talk about this. Andrew's trade is just insane, and I
That's
hate to
okay.
bring it up because
It's
I
worth
wish you
talking
would have
about.
missed on another
No,
trade that
no,
he
look,
did not take.
he traded it the way I should have.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, I
I don't
called
want
it,
to.
right? Like
I don't want
I
to just
laid
keep.
out
You know.
I laid this trade out before the opening bell even rang.
Yeah.
I didn't execute well, so that's
No,
okay.
I
That's
understand. But what I'll point out here is look at Andrew's ads. I mean, he added again here, and then he also added here. So his average got to be somewhere down here somewhere. I'm not sure, but still plenty of space. And look at this. He's looking for 450, and he's just adding in all the right places, man. He is he's cooking like you guys say, like your kids say. Let him cook. He is definitely cooking today. All right. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And AMD's kind of stuck here a little bit. Trying to see if we can get back up above.
Huh.
Yo, man, not yet,
They're
not yet.
talking
It's
about
coming.
teaching Andrew to golf. I can't picture Andrew ever golfing.
Andrew does not have the patience for that. No,
No.
no.
I mean,
I love him to
18
death.
holes?
I do.
18
No.
holes I can't
Doesn't have.
imagine.
He
He
won't
would
do
be
9
like
holes.
bored silly.
After the second 3 holes, you're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's
Like,
fast paced,
three-
man. He's fast paced, and that's not a way for him to relax. Like he'll go do a massage.
Yeah.
We went one time. We went to Vancouver, and he took us. He's like, "Oh, let's go get a massage." We did a lot. He took me. He did a whole tour. We saw Vancouver and everything. We got a massage. We went for a massage for like an hour and a half. Now I don't usually do massage for an hour and a half. After 45 minutes, I'm good to go. And he didn't tell me how long it was. We just sat there, and I'm just like, "How long have you been here?" I'm like, "I'm ready for you to stop touching me. I'm ready to go." It was like an hour and a half, and I gotta tell you though, I felt brand new.
Stop touching me.
Like I'm ready to go. Like you done? But I felt brand new after that. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really good massage. He has a spot there, but it was long. He's patient for that, but he's not gonna be walking around with a stick and ball trying. Nah, he's not doing that. He's not doing that.
I don't think so. I can't picture it anyways.
No way.
That's funny.
All right. Yes.
It's time
AMD.
to stop touching me. That's the best quote I've ever heard about a massage. My wife loves massages. She's always wanting a massage, and I'm like, I don't care. Like it just doesn't. I don't have the same desire for them like she does. And she's always like, yeah, you got to go for a massage. And I'm like, whatever, you go. Like, don't.
Yeah.
That's cool. I have no problem with it. Just don't expect me to love it like you love it. It's just not. It's not me.
Understandable. In Thailand, me and my wife got some really nice massages, man. It's a lot of fun. They were great, and the cost was just incredible. Another partial here, friends, over at AMD towards the high, just in case this thing is going to be in error resistance. I feel very comfortable taking a partial here. If I could add to my positions, this could be nice, but I'm just not there yet, right? Got to meet where the weaknesses are at.
Carlos.
That's one of my weaknesses. Being able to add. Andrew's also getting the breakout. He's parceling 450, 453, and now he's got 455 coming up.
Yeah. I know.
I didn't say the ticker, Peter.
454.
All I say he's parceling. I didn't say the ticker.
No, it's in the chat room here. Look at them pick on me.
Oh, they're picking on you.
I know. Well, no, because they're right. They're right. And the trade continued, and there was entry opportunities all along here. I won't argue that.
Yeah.
I just, it's
one of those days. Friends over on YouTube, you guys have done an amazing job. You guys brought us up to 387. I want to try to meet the record from yesterday, which is 500. I know it's a lot to ask for. We're 100 plus away, but if we could do that, that'll be incredible. And we'll also do a funded account for you guys as well.
We'd love it. We would love it, yeah.
Look forward to the winner of that also. And then, what else? We also have, thank you to Mo. Thank you to Mo in chat. Mo was the one that actually, right, and this is part of the community, that called out this trade. I did not have AMD on my watch list at all. If you look at my ticker down there, we have everything else but AMD. And Mo said, hey, look at AMD. This looks like a possible breakout on the VWAP, and I tuned into it, and there it is. And many of you guys have done this in the past year in the chat, so
that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that is a great call. All right, how to decide when to fully exit? I think technically I could wait till this thing hits break even if I want, right? I already taken enough partials out. But I'm not going to do that. What I'll do now is, for example, I think that if we lose 197 now, let me show you a bigger time frame. I think if we come back down and lose 197, I think we might be changing the trend and heading back to the VWAP. I don't want to go below 197. So we'll hold on here to whatever we can get. But 197 will be like the place I'll probably get out if we keep coming below this area here. Because now we're kind of breaking the trend, right? So 197 here. This is a healthy pullback. You want pullbacks. Healthy pullback. Buyers buy back in. And man, are we going green? We are going green. SPY's helping the situation too, guys. If you look at the SPY, look at it go here.
I
Okay.
know. Remember the question you got asked, Carlos? Could this get to R3? What do you feel? How do you feel now?
Now, I still think R3 is 201, right? R3?
It was 201.30, I think. Yeah, 20.
Shoot.
Sorry. What was it? Sorry, I got to call it up here again. 201.42.
Man, that looks a lot closer now.
Yeah, doesn't it?
That
Yeah,
looks
see?
that changed pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
That looks who said that? Who asked that? That was
I don't
I
know. So
guess
somebody here asked it was a good question.
uh, man. You
Yeah.
did, Joe. Yeah, that
There you
looks
go, Joel.
pretty darn
Okay.
close
See?
now. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
ask me now, I might get a different answer. It's kind of like the weatherman. The day's near. No, it's not gonna rain, of course. But you told me yesterday it was, right? So no, yeah, I don't know. I changed my mind here. This thing looks very strong. But we'll see. The real test is coming up. Previous day close.
Oh,
And let's see if we can push through that, friends. And I think my next partial will be if we get to previous day close, I'll take my next partial, and then after that, yeah, there's not gonna be a lot left at that point. So, I think after that partial, you could probably take everything off. We'll see. Uh, had you trade? Not sure what the question. I think I'm missing something there. He's trying to help. He's trying to help Peter. No, Tesla's been tough. I mean, it's struggling at the VWAP. So every time it comes down, we're back at the VWAP again. My take is probably going to have more resistance here. Like today's not a above VWAP day at the moment. At least all morning it has not been for Tesla. So this to me looks at the moment like an area for more sellers to pile on and get back down to 380. Again, my opinion only. We got to see a good VWAP breakout, and even a VWAP breakout here is going to be tough because we've done that before and failed, right? A couple of times here. So I think NVIDIA and Tesla's in a tough spot at the moment. I got a realistic size on 199.37 on L2 199.50. Okay, talking about AMD. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see again. A little bit of resistance here, but again, these are all still good pullbacks given the move we have. PDC versus PDH, which is more important level? What's PDH?
previous day high?
Previous
Previous
day
day close
high.
versus previous day high, I assume?
I think
I
they're
would.
both
I know my
important, but I
answer.
think previous day close is the most important
Yep.
level. It's the king of all levels, and here's the reason why. Because everybody has this level in their charts. No matter what they're trading options, they're trading whatever they're trading. Everybody knows what the previous day close is, right? I don't look at the previous day high as much. Actually, no, we do mark it. Yeah, we mark the highs and lows of the last two trading days, but still, previous day close is going to be much important. So that's what I think. I think it's a bigger level, and the only reason is because again, Peter, everybody has it, right? Not everybody's going to have the previous day high on their watch list like we do here. So
Yeah. The high could also be a spike high at any point in the day. So,
yeah,
I would argue the previous day high could have happened at 9:31 a.m., right? So the close at least is the level at which the stock last traded shares when the big money was active, and it's usually a price that they drive things to for a lot of other factors like options expiry and institutional buying for the next day. So yeah,
yeah,
previous day close significantly more important
yeah, yeah.
in my opinion. But I have just Carlos. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm just here beating myself up. It's what a wonderful, wonderful trade.
Yeah, it's
Apparently, I
it
still
was
need
a
to learn how
good
to do
day.
this trading thing.
Yeah, yeah. In the morning,
After
in the
all these
morning,
years, apparently I'm still figuring it out.
in the
So,
morning.
oh my goodness. It's crazy. Well, like at least I mean I am frustrated, but at least I can laugh about it. It
Yeah,
is what it is. Sometimes it's just what happens.
agree.
You
Friends, it's
don't
about
end
that
up.
time. Let's do hashtag ads. Let's do it. That is the one for today. So hashtag ads, and let's go ahead and get our funded accounts rocking and rolling, friends. So thank you so much for all the support, hitting all the likes, being part of the Lambos and Garbage Truck family. And yeah, friends, let's do it. Hashtag ad. Let's see who's going to be the winner for today. We'll give this a couple of seconds here to get rolling. Andrew's joining us. Andrew's coming on as well. So we'll be chatting with him and
Good.
talking about his trades,
Yeah,
man.
Andrew should
That
join us.
is a monster,
Yeah.
monster trade. So looking forward. Oh, here he is in the
Time
connection.
from we had an amazing trading day today in the chat room. You guys had a good day?
Yes, you should
Yeah,
have.
good day today. Yeah.
It was so easy. Today was really, really easy. We just
It was-
one short on anyone, one long on anyone, one short on Tesla.
I don't know what anyone would have such a hard time on a day like today.
It's
Andrew, it
just
was
money available for you. So here,
it was
take it.
Oh,
it was an ATM machine today. You just had to punch in the
oh my
code and take it.
goodness.
Peter forgot the code.
Ah, good.
I forgot the code.
All right.
So, Andrew, this trade on MU. So the
Uh-huh.
reason why Carlos is making fun of me because this trade on MU, I actually took a long trade right off the open on MU when it was really, really choppy, and then I got stopped out. But I called this trade. I was long bias. It was right there, like pre-market. I was saying MU is a long today, and somehow I'm sitting watching it. I'm on the sideline. So great trade. It's exactly the trade I called. I just apparently I'm still learning how to do this trading thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So,
Alright,
why
friends.
I don't own a Lambo. So
so yeah,
Anyway.
that's why you drive a Porsche. And that happens. That happens.
Oh
That
man.
happens.
only
Oh
only
boy.
poor people like me
You know,
have the
just
Porsches.
you have to if you trade MU like these, that's how you get the yellow Lamborghini, shiny hybrid electric.
Lord.
All right,
Or
so
else
let's
you,
do
Good thing I
the
maybe
do
it's
the
a good
funded
thing I
accounts.
didn't because that's
you
the
get
last
stuck
thing
with
I
a
want to
Porsche.
have in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
driveway.
Yeah, this is the
Can
funded
you
account, so
imagine that?
we can hear about Andrew's trade a little
God.
more. So let's get this out of the way, friends.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. The winner, 129 traders there, Lambos and Garbage Truck members. The winner is going to be Luis Verajano. Luis Verajano, 3325.
Verajano.
Congratulations. Send us an email, carlos@babytraders.com, and we are going to set you up. We're in for a good session, guys. You got to hang out for this. All right, Andrew.
All right,
Tell us what you got going on.
So it was a great trading day. I had a really nice trade on MU. I'm still holding some position here on MU. Okay, so let's bring the mess here. So a little bit of my account is a little bit messy right now, as of now. So what we did here was, I still have 500 shares of MU that hoping to get to 458, 460. I have some TQQ as a swing position, and also I could roll over my Microsoft puts of 380, 385 for the first week of April, and they're a little bit down, but these positions are good because I think Microsoft has been oversold. I think selling puts on Microsoft is reasonable right now. So at 380 and 385, I'm selling puts cash secured on Microsoft. I had yesterday, rolled them over for the next week. And I obviously have some bonds and some stocks as well. So, but day trading was really nice. This TQQ position, I took it yesterday at the close, but I've kind of regret doing it because the market might go lower. The war situation is uncertain, and now they're hitting each other's natural gas plants. The market might go a little bit lower. Like if you look at SPY, guys, so now we are below the 200 moving average on a daily chart. So that is a bearish sign. However, if you go to the weekly charts, there is some sort of support around 650, which is 200 moving average on a weekly chart. Considering the fact that we have a war going on and the war might take some time, I mean, Libya war takes 7 months. When President Obama started the attack on Libya was 7 months. This one is only 3 weeks now. So this might drag on a little bit. So we might go a little bit lower. That's why I regret buying TQQ yet. But potentially around
Oh,
640 would be an area that I might actually start going back. So on Patron, the VO position, I think most of the money, I have about $12 million. So this money has to be in bonds and stocks, about 60-40 ratio. So 60% of your position should be all usually in stocks for the long term and 40% on bonds. The reason for that is that stocks are usually represents growth and bonds represents the income. So when you're holding the bonds, the coupons that are getting the monthly coupons that are getting from the bonds can actually pay for the lifestyle and everything for retirement. And the growth of the 60% of the stock is for the future. I'm 42, so I probably need more growth than income because I'm still working. But when people get older, they change their portfolio from growth to income. So if your retirement's 60, 70, 80, then you must have probably a significant amount of your investment in the bonds because you just don't need growth anymore. You just need the money coming to pay you for lifestyle and travel and whatever that you want. So the portfolios are generally, they say the 60-40 rule in portfolio in Wall Street is a very reasonable portfolio. But as you get older and as your life circumstances changes, your investment philosophy changes and you go more toward the bonds. So TLT is the treasury, long-term treasuries, 20 years treasuries. And I think it gave about 4% return or something like that. And yeah, unfortunately, when people get older, like Peter, they choose bad decision. They make bad decisions, like buying a Porsche instead of a Lamborghini. But it's old people. It's like brain activity has research has shown that over time it goes down. Peter is older than me for 5-6 years, so his brain is a little bit it's like a CPU, old generation CPU. He prefers Porsche over Lamborghini.
well, there you
Oh
go.
boy.
I love it. He's gonna keep picking me. Oddly, I think I bought my Porsche about when my brain was the same age as yours. So that's but but so I guess I've been making bad decisions for a longer period of time. That being said, I've had my car for a lot longer than you've had either of your Lamborghinis. So well, you can say what you want, but
Peter, you're missing. Did you drive my Lamborghini? You didn't when you were
I
in
didn't.
Vancouver.
I didn't actually drive it. No, I was in it,
You are
but I didn't.
you are missing out in life, my brother.
No.
Yeah,
You are
but
missing out.
that won't be a fair comparison because his is older, right? You got to drive a new one
No.
and a new one. It won't be a
No.
fair
No.
comparison. I
I'll
don't think it
still.
will.
I could. My car will still beat his on a track if you want to do it that way.
I
It
don't
would.
know, Peter. Your engine
It
might heat
would.
up there. I don't know,
So how
man.
many horse
No.
that your Porsche? Your Porsche is what's the horsepower on?
405.
405? You're kidding
Yeah.
me? Mine is 880.
Yeah, but it also weighs twice as much. And it's a higher center of gravity, so you can't corner as well.
Oh
So
man.
I'd still take you on. I'll take you on. Come on.
All right, so let's get back into trading situation. MU is pushing back up. You guys can see my screen. I have orders at 458, which is I think yesterday high. I think I think yesterday low. MU is pushing yesterday low 458. So as you see, I have still very big position on that. Going toward that, I'm gonna get filled right now. 456. There you go, got filled. You can see it live, and 458 is the next level. Um, there was a question that, hey, what do you do if you're having a bad streak of trading? Switch to simulator. If you're having a bad time, switch to simulator. Go to the funded account. Try to see if you can actually build the consistency in the simulator before really entering into the live trading. I think that is the most important thing that you can do. John, the Bearable Traders. Guys, I was having a meeting with John yesterday. He was in his Tesla, self-driving, and he was taking a call with me on Tesla. That was amazing.
He loves the self-driving, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. And I did apologize to John because I don't know why a few years ago I was thinking Elon Musk doesn't know what he, I didn't like Elon Musk. I don't know why. He's amazing. That guy's amazing. And I realized that Elon Musk is really way ahead of his time. So I think I Elon Musk is now relieved that I approve him.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure it's a big relief to him.
Yeah. All right, guys. So MU was really good. Thank you so much. Do you remember Peter back into that before pandemic, we were trading MU at $10, $20. Now
Oh
it's
yeah, I know.
$560. I remember this company.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much it's grown. MU especially has done very well over the last year.
They produce memory cards, yeah. They're not the CPU, yeah.
They do a lot of, yeah, I mean, they're actually, it's funny because they produce a whole lot of things, but yes, they're not heavy into the GPUs or CPUs. They produce a lot of what's called DRAM and DRAM and other
Mm.
types of memory cards. So yes, it's a
Where
slightly
is it
different
based at?
industry.
Do you know where it's based at?
I imagine California, but I don't know
Oh, it must be,
for
yeah, it
sure.
must be
But yeah, I
headquartered
don't know where they're
in,
based out of. But
yeah.
MU makes, I don't think they make,
No,
you
actually,
say GPUs in
Idaho.
the chat room.
Just in Idaho. They're based in
Idaho.
Idaho.
Okay, why not?
Interesting, yeah. Well, thank you for Idaho for giving us this $30,000 today for running up on MU. That's amazing. So we should make a visit to Idaho.
I don't think
Yeah,
there's anything to see there.
they make SSD storage, flash cards. DRAM is their big yeah, DRAM is their big product. Anyways, it's fascinating. Yeah, it's this whole industry is doing very well, and of course, Micron has been one of the biggest growers in the space in the last little while. So good day then.
All righty, good day, good day. So, Peter,
Speaking
are you
of
ready for?
speaking
Sorry.
of processors, as you were talking, Andrew, I literally ran out. The doorbell rang. I got my new PC. So there you go.
Congratulations! Tomorrow we're gonna see a really nice, sharp Peter. And I think, Peter, because of the good CPUs, your hair might actually grow again back up.
Wow.
Andrew's on a roll today, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. If that's a sign, I
What?
know he's just beating
Andrew's
on me
like
right
this
now.
orange. Look at
Yeah.
you. You're getting chopped, man. Just left and right. Sorry, Peter, man.
That's all right. That's sometimes, you just got to take it.
No,
Uh,
no, no. It's in all seriousness. I mean, that was a joke. I think it makes a huge difference. Like John also did, he upgraded his web camera, and we tested it yesterday, and he was amazed at how clear it can be 4K camera with only 60
yeah.
bucks. The webcam that he
Yeah.
bought was only 60 bucks. So that was quite impressive of you know for John. That's wow. Why he didn't do it earlier?
All right. Yeah, I'm surprised too because I've got this new 4K Andrew, the one that you recommended I buy, and it is much clearer. It's much
Yeah.
better. I'm
And
surprised. I didn't
yeah,
think
and
it
if
would
you
make that much
change
of a
your
difference.
CPU, I think the CPUs make a huge difference because if your processor cannot process as quickly, then it will be even sharper. I'm
Right.
actually excited for the next week or so. Our quality of a show is gonna be way better. And as I mentioned, I am planning to move to Eastern time zone. I'm gonna go either to Toronto or I'm gonna go to Ottawa. Living with Peter. Peter, can I come and trade together in the same room? Mm.
I got three extra bedrooms not being used. Sure, why not?
Why not? Yeah, exactly. There you go. I can just move in with you, Peter.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Park that bright yellow SUV Lamborghini in my driveway. I see what the neighbors say. It'll look so out of place in my suburbs here. So
Yeah, I mean, if I move to
it'll be
Toronto, I
perfect.
definitely ship my car. Even if I move to Florida or something, I still ship my car. In North America, you can ship your car anywhere. So I'll just drive it. I'll drive it around. So I'm just telling you, the car is not yellow, but I'm going to wrap it yellow.
Oh,
Um, so I'm going to show you my car actually. Uh, I'm going to show it to you. Give me a second. So the interior is yellow. They have it still in the showroom. Oh, let's see.
you're gonna wrap it yellow, eh? You really want that. You want the attention.
Well, they have one that interior is yellow, so I think it would be nice to really try to get it.
Just
Um,
just make sure that's okay with your lease, because sometimes they get angry when you make modifications to a leased vehicle.
yeah, no, they're okay with that. Yeah,
You don't want to get a $10,000 charge for, or $20,000 charge for repainting.
yeah. So well, they took it. It's here. Oh no, actually, it's here. So this is
No,
the
but
car.
the
So
wrap comes on and off pretty easy. You don't actually paint the car.
yeah,
No, I know,
but,
but you don't want them to use that as an excuse to say it left residue and therefore they have to repaint it, right? Like sometimes they do things when you're leasing that.
so this is the car that I'm getting. Um, this is the car that I'm getting. It's in Vancouver. It's not really a scene. The interior is yellow. My current interior is orange. But actually, this one's interior is blue, so maybe it's a different one. But it's pretty similar to that. But I want to wrap it into yellow. So,
Okay.
oh, maybe no, that's the 2023. Yeah, this was the other option that we had this SE. So this was the other option, but I decided to go with that. But the good thing about the wrapping is that you can wrap it in any color that you want. Next year, if you don't want it, you can wrap it in black. It will be exactly like this. It's just. All right. So, any question, guys, about the trading? I'm still long in you guys. Yeah, I'm still long. So, the positions that I have right now, where's my mouse? Bring my mouse here. The position that I have here is that I have MU. It's still long, 400 shares only left. And my average is 441. I want to see if we can get to 460. I sold some puts at 385 and 380 for first week of April. And if the market bounces back by that time, which I hope that will, Microsoft, I think, is pretty oversold, could be not, could be good. And then TQQ is a swing trade that I have that if the market bounces, hopefully the war doesn't drag on as much, but we get stopped out if Q's losing a very big significant level. So having said that, we're sitting here and just holding our breath. Bitcoin is back to $69,000.
Most of your interest scaling in positions. For Andrew, yeah, I mean, he ends up adding to a lot of his positions when they're working, because
Yeah.
when they're working, why not add into them?
So again, if you see, for example, this goes, for example, into my trades here. So this was essentially a 5 minute range breakup. So we need a 5 minute range breakup. So you just add a couple of times into that. As long as you're getting higher high and higher lows, you go through this path. But today was a very, very strong day. Did you trade anything, Peter?
Again, I traded Micron long right at the open,
Mm-hmm.
and I said then I got out of it, and I missed this whole move. So
Nice.
not nice, but sad for me. Oh well. Learned my lesson. Still learning how to trade this open. It's a challenge for me. Like you said, my brain is hardened. I'm not able to change strategies as quickly as I used to. All right, so we've got some later opportunity, hopefully in the day, with Micron moving this much higher. Maybe the move's
Yeah,
over
Micron
now.
it might
Did
do
the
a 920 trade.
Yeah, it's gone past that, I think, hasn't it? The 20.
Nice. Next week later. It's under my calendar. Alrighty. So MU is bouncing back. So it might be 920 on the MU. What do you think, Brian? Peter? Oh,
I think MU. I think the move higher is done. I don't think it's coming back, to be honest.
you
I
don't
think we're
think
probably going to
so?
move down a few bucks and then hang out because
My
the market
average
is
is
going
at
sideways too.
441. So I have a pretty good average on it. So I'm gonna add a little bit on MU here at 450, 449. I bring my average to 446. So let's see if we can get back. But yeah, it kind of broke down the 920.
Oh, so you've added in, eh? All right. Well, let's see what happens. I think it's going to lose some more ground here.
The SPY looks like it's really holding the VWAP. VWAP doesn't want to go lower, doesn't want to go higher. Oil is at 97. So oil is really holding very nicely. VIX is at 25. Rivian did some really volatile time. What did Columbus trade this morning?
For me, it was MU.
MU, you traded MU,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, MU. So I'm sorry, not MU. I got MU on my head because of Peter. I did not
Yeah,
trade MU.
AMD.
I trade AMD. So we're still in here, guys. AMD. We took a VWAP breakout. Here's a setup, a partial, 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 and now we're just waiting to see if it goes green. So funny, Andrew. Someone asked us earlier here, hey, do you think AMD is gonna get to 201? Nah, it's too far out. And look at it go, man.
Yeah.
199, about to go green. So. But yeah, that was our trade today. Amazing. And the great thing about it is we weren't even watching AMD on our watch list. One of the members on YouTube actually say, hey, look at this. Looks like your strategy. So again, the power of hanging out here, guys, and being part of a community is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, AMD, it looks like it wants to go green actually right now.
Now you had
Yeah.
an earlier trade on silver as well, right? But that
Oh,
didn't,
yes. We did a trade on silver here, and then that one did not work out. So we went long for 1 minute or 1 minute engulfing. Failed, stopped out here, lost 40 cents. But again, guys, we talk about this a lot. Stop out. And Andrew, this is something that you preached a lot to us when we were learning. Get out, you can always get back in, right? Just get out, take the
Exactly.
loss. And by getting out of this trade and not harping on it, we found AMD, right? And just get out, take the easy loss, small loss, and find a better opportunity. And AMD delivered nicely today.
Yeah, even for me, for example, on MU, I just got out of it twice before the third trade that really worked really well. So it's okay if you get stopped out, and you can always come back if you think that trade is going into your direction. Uh,
a lesson I have yet to learn, apparently.
yeah, absolutely. Peter, most of your trades are in the afternoon, yes?
Yeah. Usually, especially the ones that tend to work better for me are late morning, early afternoon.
Hmm. That's the power of privilege.
Oh, what I'm hearing, some echo. Oh no, it's something else.
That's Gary and Paris in our chat room doing their thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I see Gary and Paris in the chat room. So my MU, I added my MU position, so we'll see. TQQ looks like it wants to go back higher, huh? Qs are trying to go back up. Yeah. Market is really trying to gain some strength here. It's going up. There you go. There you go. We're going.
Let's go MU. Let's do it for Andrew. Let's get
I
back
wouldn't be
to high
surprised
day.
if the SPY goes green today, guys. SPY's, I wouldn't be
SPY just
surprised if the SPY is going
popped.
green.
Yeah. Okay, it just popped higher here. Let's see if it can get to a new high. Still got a little ways to go to get green, but I'm not a believer that we're gonna go that the MU anyways is gonna hit the highs, but it might if you wait long enough. Your entry is so good, you know, your new average is probably down at 441, 442, depending how much you added, I guess. So
My average on MU, I can show you my position here. Yeah. So my position is my average is 446.
okay.
So
Oh, you added it.
446 is my average right now, as of now.
Okay.
And um, and because I had a really good entry, so I get to, benefit from this amazing uh, um, wait. Gotcha. So it's going to. Do you trade any other market apart from the US? No, not really, Parag. Like every volatility that you can imagine is actually in the US stock market. You really want to be in the US stock market. If you want to even trade Brazil or other markets or emerging markets, there are some ETFs that are available to trade in the US stock market. If you trade China, there are ETFs of China. Guys, so yeah, if you want to, for example, the ETFs of China, you can trade the China ETFs through Yin, Yang, and everything. It's just the US capital market is everything. Like you have to be in the US stock market to have access to everything. Even India, I'm sure there is like ETF of India that you can trade.
I'm sure there's an ETF for everything.
There's an ETF for everything. If there is an ETF of Lamborghini, I'm sure it's a sport car.
We need to find is there an Andrew ETF? We need to find that one.
Andrew ETF. Maybe I build an ETF that trades algorithmic trading. Maybe I'll reach to a point that I establish an ETF that connects to my account and do algorithmic trading.
Here we go. INDA. That's pretty easy. The India ETF. INDA. See? There's an ETF for everything.
All right, so the futures are rejecting SPY. All right, MU actually disappointing is coming back to my break-even point. So I am getting out of MU, guys. I'm getting out of my MU position. So it never really, so that ad didn't work. So I'm all out of my position. I got out of my position completely here at 456.
Andrew's out. He's all flat. Now I'm just going to sit and wait, watch for other trade opportunities. What do you guys? So I did answer the question in text. Someone was answering text when Andrew was talking. You're asking about coin. For my Mountain Pass, not a setup yet, right? It's heading towards the high of day, but it's got to break. It's got to sort of get to a new high of day. right before I would take a mountain pass type trade, and it's not there because the high was set a little bit earlier, just over $200.53. So we need to see a break of that, and then a pullback and a retest. So that's like a whole lot of work it's got to do. I mean, it might get there, but yeah, not close yet. Micron, I mean MU that we were just watching, again, it was looking mountain pass-ish at the high here. It actually had a volume spike when it first set the high. The problem is, as it went and retested, it actually pushed higher. So if you look at the first high of day that was set that I would consider for a mountain pass was at 1034, and it had just got some volume prior to that, which is good. That's what I want to see. The retest, though, that happened at 1049 pushed higher. So that sort of broke my mountain pass setup. So as much as once again, I called the short here as MU came off the highs, but it wasn't quite good enough for my setup. So it wasn't worth the risk. So I'm still watching. We've got other opportunities. NVIDIA, for example. NVIDIA just went to a high of day. Didn't do it on volume, though, but it's coming back. We'll see if it retests and fails. So that's just happening right now as we're watching it. So we'll see what happens there. And even Tesla. The Tesla's not as great because was such a push down here this morning that it's just right off the open, right? Which put it in a weird position. Well, we'll see what it can do for the rest of the day. So there's some opportunity. Google, Google just hit a high of day a couple of minutes ago. We can see if it can retest. So there's things to keep an eye on. But CoreWeave also high of day, pulled back, retest. High day on volume, by the way, in CoreWeave. So if you guys are looking for mountain pass style trades, right now CoreWeave is the one that I'm most enthusiastic about, but it's still got some work to do. PLTR also sitting at a high of day. So as you can see, right, you just keep scanning the market. There's a bunch of stuff you can watch. Oh,
Yeah.
is my mic away? Sorry.
Oh, Tesla is going up.
Okay.
Tesla is going up. I was thinking of getting a long on
There we go.
TSLA. Like Tesla looks like it wants to pop up. The 83.
Yeah, so NVIDIA just broke a little higher, so that's fortunate. NVIDIA.
So PLTR, what's the PLTR doing? Let me see. Let me show the PLTR. Yeah, PLTR was a nice red to green move. Brian in the trading room did a really nice trade on PLTR in the morning. That looks like it wants to go strong, huh?
We'll see where it wants to go. All right.
Right. What's MU doing? MU stop us out. And you're right, Peter, that MU is not.
Yeah, it's the fun is over on MU for the time being. I mean, it's not to say that it can't go higher later this afternoon. It might, but it's going to need the market support, like you were pointing out, Andrew. If the market decides to go green, that's definitely going to help move MU higher. But for the moment, it's just stuck here. And the level two, I'm looking at the Atlas on Micron. There's a lot of orders. I'm surprised. Look at all the activity on MU today. It's got a lot of orders all over the place. So
L2. SanDisk, everything. Peter, are you excited for Egypt? Trading together?
I am. I'm pretty excited for it, actually. I think it's going to be not only a great trip, but hopefully an opportunity to trade. We'll see how much trading we get done. The time zone is not perfect. It's middle of dinner,
Nothing is
right?
perfect in life. Nothing is
No,
perfect in life.
that's
You
true.
just this, yeah.
That is true. You make the most of what you got, right?
All right. Carlos, did you get a new chair,
No, man.
or
I
you're
haven't.
still chair from your?
No, my wife is gonna get at me because she works from home like only Wednesdays. So yesterday I told her, "Can you use my chair, the red one, the one that's broken?" And she's like, "I'll use it this time, but you better go buy your chair. I want my chair back."
Why don't you just go buy a chair? I mean, I told you
I
about.
went, I went to Staples. I didn't like anything, Andrew. I sat on a bunch of stuff. I like the way this one looks though. It's more comfortable, but I couldn't find anything I loved, man. I'll go today or the weekend. Let me do the
Just go to
weekend.
Amazon. Just go to Amazon. Just get it on
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah, I got to do that. Yeah, my wife
But
wants her chair
then you
back.
can't try it out, right? That's the problem.
That's the thing. I feel like I want to try it out. I don't want to have to build it and then ship it back because I don't like it. That sucks. Um, but it looks like I have to do that. So
It's not that bad. It's only three parts. Like it's not yeah, it's not like IKEA that comes completely and completely from
no,
its
no, it's not. But yeah, you know,
quickly.
yeah. And I'm picky, man. I'm a picky buyer, man, and that sucks. It takes time for me. Like I need to. Yeah, I'll go to Amazon. There's no excuse, but I'm a
You don't
picky
seem
buyer.
like that. You're a buyer, man. You don't seem like it.
For certain things, man, I want the chair to do this. I want to do that. I want it to be this height. I want this to go up and down. I got different shit, different desks. So I wanted to fit all these things, and just yeah. Well, for certain things, I'm picky, not for a lot.
But looking sharp, I like that. I like that. I like
He's
that.
picky. He's picky. He's going to continue to be picky.
And
Oh,
Herman
look
Miller,
at that
like I'm not
drop on
paying $1,000 for a chair,
150.
guys. It's just even if I had the money, it's not going to a chair. No.
It makes a difference though. My chair, like for example, my chair is like close to $1,000, maybe 800, $700, and
Hmm.
the one that I bought for the office are a little bit cheaper,
And
but
you feel the difference, like big
yeah, I
difference.
do.
No way.
It's I feel the difference. Yeah. No, dude, believe me, man. Believe me, there is some difference, like the stability and there are some the rich people don't do anything for
Hey,
no reason.
I think the ads got you, man. And our poll for today is the ads got Andrew,
Yeah,
guys. I think
the
Andrew's
ads
here
got
on the
Andrew.
8% on the polls. So put in your bet if you haven't done so already. But this is 462
What is
votes.
that? Are you affected by the ad 16? Yeah, I
Oh, we
do.
got into this whole ad conversation earlier, and look at
Oh,
this,
I love
53.
advertisement.
Yeah, 53% feels like they know him like a pro. So we'll see. We'll see. But I like ads. I like seeing them. I like seeing the way companies are get creative. Apple does a great job at this, guys. The way they advertise. I like seeing the creativity. Um, I don't buy everything I see on ads either. So I'll get a chair. I'll get one.
All right. Carlos says he's going to get a chair. You guys heard it here.
I mean, the pressure's not coming from you guys. It's coming from internal. It's coming from the boss. It's coming from the
Yeah,
wife. I
that's
gotta
right.
get a chair.
That's right.
Oh boy.
She's really the one.
Yeah.
Like if you like your chair, if your red chair still works, again, I'm telling you, man, Sharpie, a red Sharpie. Just
No, actually, Peter, the chair is so worn out at the bottom, and I realized that when I sat on this one, I'm like, wow, this is much more comfortable. It doesn't work for my desk
okay.
because of the way that the height of the armrest. But yeah, my
Right.
chair is done, man. It is. It's actually probably even
Okay.
hurting my back to sit on something like that for so long.
Okay. Well, see,
And I'm
now you
starting to
learned
realize
something.
that now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure.
I find there's a lot of one of the funny things, Carlos, is that it's like a lot of stuff in life that when you try something new, you're like, oh, it feels different. I like it. I don't like it. But I honestly believe we can generally get used to a lot more than we think. but because it's new, it's going to generally feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm big into racket sports, and you buy a new racket. I don't care if it's a pickleball paddle, a tennis racket, a squash racket. You get a new one, you're like, I don't like it, but it's usually because it's different. And then you get used to it. You're like, I love it. It's the best one. I want to
Yeah.
only use this. It's because it's whatever you get used to generally becomes your favorite.
Yeah.
That's human nature to a certain degree. So I think if you go find a chair, it just, if it's reasonably comfortable, it'll probably be fine. It'll mold itself to you. You'll get used to it, and you think this is the best chair ever. But,
So how's the top performing traders are doing in guys? You can go through the funded account, and the top traders that we are having right now is Dania is doing $38,000. That's amazing. I assume that should be a name for Lady Dania. Kyle is doing $24,000. Amazing. Jay, $20,000. Keegan, $15,000. Dat, $12,000. So, and last week we had some really nice couple of $10,000 traders. Don, Ahmad, Deepak, and Alan. So they made money. So that's doing pretty good. And the all-time traders so far we have Dania, wow, $38,000 profits, just keeps pushing. Guido is at $31,000 that we paid last week. And Kyle again back in there. Kyle already got one $10,000 from us. So that's his second one. No, these are all trading terminal funded accounts. These are all trading terminal funded accounts.
yeah. Question there. Do you guys sell Market Atlas on its own? Well, no, it's part of Trading Terminal. If you
It's
sign up
part
for
of it.
Trading Terminal, yeah, you get everything. You get the whole package, kit and
Yeah,
caboodle.
it's all packaged together. So I asked them to actually give me a white background as well. So I'm trying to see if it can actually work, white actually works or not. Um, Looks like the black looks nicer. I'm not 100% sure. And I couldn't load MU today in the micro. Oh, it's in the live. Oh shit. What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. You're like, oh crap.
No, I couldn't get the MU on the market atlas, but it was on I was on the replay mode. That's why I couldn't get anything working.
Oh, I see. Now, Andrew, earlier we had a couple people saying that they were having trouble with data lag in Atlas, and I haven't seen any. My Atlas has been working great. Has there been any server issues, or is it maybe something
Yeah,
with
it's
theirs?
we have multiple servers in different locations, and sometimes some of the servers are overload. But depending on
Okay.
which server you are connected, sometimes you're having this issue. Um, but what I think, what that's why not everybody get impacted. But we're looking into that, and we're gonna, increase our resources to provide the better service. So sometimes like that. This morning I had this issue that my my MU chart wasn't loading properly, and it was not everybody had that issue because apparently I
Okay.
was on the server that was overloading. So we're looking into that and quickly fix it. Um,
Okay. All right. There you go. Good to know.
yeah, thanks for your patience
Appreciate
on that.
appreciate you being upfront about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So NVIDIA did get a pullback here from the highs. Remember, we were watching this. We were watching for that Mountain Pass style trade. Didn't unfortunately quite set up, but it did work as we were calling. So
Yes. Carlos and I met yesterday, and we, came up with some of the very design for the YouTube show. So I think Carlos is gonna, by the end of this week, he's gonna add some couple of really nice graphics and better visualization for the show. And at the time that I'm hoping moving to the East Coast time zone, I'm gonna come into the show and make a better show together, guys.
I think we have
Yeah,
a meeting at
that'd be
noon to
nice.
go over that and put some plans together. So,
Is it noon your time or my time?
my time. It's been moved around a little bit because of people's commitments and medical appointments, but it's just early this morning we moved it back to noon. We had moved it later in the afternoon, and then we had to move it back to.
Am I in that meeting as well?
I don't know. John had scheduled it. Let's find out here. Am I in that meeting, Andrew says? I'm not even sure if I'm in that meeting. No, doesn't look like you're invited, Andrew. You want to be?
Yeah, that's not cool then. Okay. All right, thank you so much. That was
Only
great.
Porsche drivers, I guess. Uninvited.
Yeah, that's right.
Peter.
It wasn't my meeting. I didn't set it up, so.
All right.
I don't want to be blamed. I get blamed for enough. I don't need to be blamed for that too.
It looks like my AMD is gonna be done here, friends. So I'm probably gonna get out of this one shortly too. What a great day, man! What a greght day. Andrew, you're out of your MU already?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I'm out of
Okay.
MU. It was great. So I'm out of everything, all of my positions. So it was a pretty good trade on Tesla and MU. So I shorted MU. Sorry, I shorted Tesla at the open. I shorted at the open Tesla here. So I shorted Tesla here for 1 minute range breakdown.
Yeah.
So that was one of my trades that I did at the open. That was really nice. And MU, I went long for the open range breakout, but I got out of it. But later I get back again on that, and we just did this massive monster move successfully. So
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I have a meeting at 8:30, guys. I'm gonna catch up on that meeting. Are you running the show until noon?
Well,
We're probably gonna cut off here at 11:30. I gotta go look for chairs. I'm looking at them right now. I don't know. This is great marketing, man.
Perfect.
Carlos has got to go chair shopping.
This is
That
great.
is amazing,
See,
What the
guys.
heck?
this
What
is
the heck?
great marketing. You see that?
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
want you to sit on your chair just to test it out, like the girl in pink at the bottom there, because that's
This
the only
is-
way to
yeah.
test a chair.
But it's the idea of like, hey, a chair for everybody, right? This is great marketing, man. Speaking about ads, today was the ad day, guys. So thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. We start at 8 a.m. here. Have an amazing day. And look forward to seeing you guys all on Friday. Have a good one.
Awesome,
Yeah.
guys.
Trade smart.
So Peter,
Talk to
I'm
everybody
gonna
tomorrow.
join you at that meeting at 12. You said it's noon, yeah? Just add me into
Yeah.
that, please.
I have.
Cheers. Bye.
Awesome,
Okay.
guys.
Later,
All right,
everybody.
take care.